We are back. What do you think?
I think I'm here, loving it.
I would like to know something, that it's going to be 75 today, right? Sunny and pleasant 75. It's 7 o'clock in the morning right now. Mm-hmm. They say it's 56 degrees, but it feels like it's about 30.
Yeah, it's that biting cold wind.
It is. That wind is very cold.
Not ideal.
A couple of surprises this morning. I'm looking at the weather, and at the bottom of the weather where it says partly cloudy and 56, it also is signed by Brittany and says, "You suck."
Yeah, but I signed it so you know that's...
So I knew it was you.
That's me, yeah.
Yeah, it just says partly cloudy, 56, you suck, Brittany.
In my defense, you're always like, don't touch my stuff, so it felt really tempting.
That's what I'm saying. Leave my stuff alone. Get the hell away from it.
It was a pretty important message.
But you won't listen.
No.
All right. Matter of fact, as long as we're doing the weather, morning clouds and mostly sunny and pleasant with a high of 75. Today should be a beautiful day. Friday, sunny and a bit warmer with a high of 78. Saturday, mostly sunny and warm with a high of 81. Sunday, mostly sunny and warm with a high of 83. So at least for the next 4 days, looks really, really good.
Yes.
Except for I suck. That's the only party I don't care for.
Also accurate.
Also quite accurate, is it, that I suck? Yeah, thank you.
Spot on.
Who's better than you? That's what I want to know.
Many people. I'll get you a list by the end of the day.
Okay, now this next thing that I'm going to bring up should never happen, but it happened to me this morning, and I'm going to just read the headline to you guys, and then we'll go forward from there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Makes total sense. So, I go through the headlines and all that stuff. Since I don't watch the national news at home, I go through all the headlines of the Wall Street Journal and like 5 different publications to try to get some balance. There is no balance anymore, by the way. You guys, I'm sure, have noticed that.
I don't know where you're looking, but most news sources tell me that they are balanced.
Yes, that's right.
So
I'm not paying attention.
Yeah, obviously.
That's exactly what it must be. Tom's just not paying attention. That's all there is to it. What do you think?
Well, just like the weather says, you suck.
The weather says that I suck again? I hate you. I'd like to point that out. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
All right, well, I got to get this. Why is this? God, this thing's acting weird today. I don't know what the hell's going on with my screen.
I think there's a ghost in our technology today.
Well, that does happen once in a while. What causes that kind of thing, all the glitchiness and all that stuff?
Mercury's in retrograde.
Oh, is that what it is?
And my fire sign is not lining up with my water sign today.
We are in the season of Gemini, and that's the only one I know. So unfortunately, I can't give you guys anything else unless we're in the end of May.
That is the deal?
Yeah, we're currently, Gemini is tricky.
Why is Gemini? Because it's a two-sided deal?
Yeah. Is
that what you're saying?
45 personalities, and all of them are terrible.
You hate all of your you hate our personalities or your personalities?
No, I'm saying this is a dig on me for once. All my personalities suck, but I have a lot of them.
I thought everybody loved your personality.
No.
That's what I heard anyway.
You were told wrong. You were sold on a false reality.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. I'm just trying to get through some stuff here. Things are looking pretty good. But I saw a headline this morning in the Star Tribune, and I got to bring it up because it's like, really? This is my life now? Let me scroll down and find it. I know it's here somewhere. Where the hell did it go?
What was it? I'll find it for you when you...
It's a Neil Justin's article today. It's Neil Justin's. I suppose I could just type his name in there.
Yeah, huh? I'm finding it. What's it on?
What do you mean, what's it on?
What's the topic?
The topic is a media CEO.
Okay.
That loves, what is it, Succession?
Minnesota CEO loves Succession.
Okay, do you see who the Minnesota CEO is?
No.
Jesus, what a failure.
I'm putting it in Tom's news stories for you.
It's a disaster. Oh, you still haven't seen who the media mogul is, huh?
Okay, media CEO. Oh, it's Ginny.
Ginny Morris. I get to read a news article about this media CEO mega whatever.
You might assume that Ginny Morris watches Succession differently from the rest of us. That's because she's a member of the Hubbard family, the closest thing Minnesota has to the fictional Roys, the generation's version of the Ewings of Dallas, but with nastier put-downs. But Morris...
Who, the Hubbards have nastier put-downs?
I think they meant the Ewings.
That's what I kind of thought. But it didn't sound like
It
it
didn't
was
sound like it. No.
It didn't sound... It sounded like the Hubbards are running around screaming at each other.
It does, doesn't
But
it?
Morris, who runs the Hubbard's radio division, said the drama in the hit series, which ends its 4-season run at 8 p.m. Sunday on HBO, has almost nothing in common with her real life. It's so unrelated to me, said Morris, who oversees stations in 8 major markets. I watch it like I watch a train wreck. Morris said that she just had lunch with her brother Stan, CEO of the Reels cable channel in New Mexico, brother Rob, who oversees KSTP and other TV stations, and Dad Stanley, the 90-year-old Hubbard Broadcasting kingpin, who still comes to the St. Paul office every weekday. If anyone stabbed another with a butter knife during dessert, she didn't mention it.
See, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We got all... You know what just made me feel really weird there? 2 things made me feel really weird.
What's that?
Number one would be the fact that I met Ginny when she was 8 years old. So now an 8-year-old that I met all those years ago now gets to tell me about what media is all about. She's a media mogul.
She does it well.
What do you think of that action?
Who would have thought? When you saw her at 8 years old, you're going to say, you're going to be my boss someday, kiddo.
She's not my boss.
I know, but it was for the dramatic story.
No, sorry, I'm not accepting it.
Fine. You're going to be Brittany and Rudy's boss someday.
Well, I suppose. Yeah. But we did form a nice little shoulder-to-shoulder alliance all worked out. But no, it's a great article about Ginny Hubbard. And see, I cannot get over calling her Ginny Hubbard. I've been calling her that for 50 years.
Yeah.
So Ginny Morris.
Yeah.
Because of her children, she has children. Their name is Morris, right?
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
would make sense.
And
You want to hold on to the
she's
Morris
got her
part.
first grandkiddo.
That's what I heard. She told me. So
Wow.
that's pretty damn cool.
Very cool.
Okay, and the other upsetting thing about what you just said about the Hubbard family? Mm-hmm. When I met Stanley Hubbard II, okay, he was 38 years old.
Oh, my God. How old were you when you met him then?
18.
Oh, my God.
I was 17 or 18 when I met him. So he had 38. He seemed like an old guy to me anyway. So you know what I mean. But I mean, those are 2 weird things. Somebody you've known since she was 8 years old is now with this big media mogul, and her father, who you met when he was 38, is 90. Jesus.
When we used to go to the Christmas party, this is years
I
ago.
love that Christmas party.
Every year, Stanley would go up there and make a speech. It was very inappropriate.
Oh, yeah, every year.
And we all loved it. And it was always one of his kids had to run up there and grab him because he was funny. It wasn't like you're gross. It was just funny.
He's always been a very, very nice guy. I ran into him a few years ago. I think it was over in St. Paul at a hockey game. I think that's where we were. Maybe it was a concert over in St. Paul, and Stanley was standing right in front of I can't remember whose suite it even was, but we went to somebody's suite, and Stanley was standing there, and I walked up, and he was really busy. He was focused on something. So I walked by, I said, "Mr. Hubbard, how you doing?" Tom Bernard. He goes, "Hi, how are you?" He was a little distracted, I think.
Yeah.
Is what the problem was.
One of the times that I had gone from KQ to Hubbard, we had this show called
What was it? From where?
Shush.
What? Never heard of it. What?
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
I had done a year with Hubbard, and we had a show called Weekend Dirt, and it was getting completely canceled. So there's no spot for me to go, and it was they're like, and they were so funny. They go, "You can still come to the holiday party if you want." It was in about a week.
Oh.
And me and my friend Olivia, who are 20 and broke, we're going, yeah, we're going to that thing.
One more meal.
Right? Why not? And we didn't care. It was because everyone was like, "We're so sorry." We're like, "We are 20." So it wasn't anything. And so we went, and I remember I was like, "Olivia, we might not get this chance again. We got to get a picture with Stanley."
Yeah.
And so, sure enough, we have this photo. He looks like he's like, "What? Who are these women?"
Oh, he looks bored as hell.
No, he looked confused that we'd have the what are we
Yeah. And he's like, "Why are you 2 in the men's room? What are you doing in here?"
Yeah, what the hell were you doing in there?
Worth it. I gotta find that photo. It's so good.
Oh, you still have the photo?
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think so too. I would have never been that brazen had I not been currently fired. And I remember everybody at the party was like, "We're so sorry," and we're just eating shrimp.
Yeah.
Olivia getting wasted. Totally. It was so fun.
It's a good time had by. Where is that party now? Because it used to be a town and country.
Still downtown. Still at the. I think it's at the Hilton, I believe.
Yeah, downtown Hilton.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. They go
That's
to
where
downtown.
last year, yeah, it was super fun last year. And last year, it went on the same day that the Vikings had that big comeback.
Yeah.
And so people downtown were insanely drunk. And it was a blast running into people.
Yeah, those parts. I haven't been to one in a long, long time. Like I said, the last one I went to was at Town and Country over there on the river. It's a golf course over there. You guys know where that is, right?
I don't.
No.
Wait, don't you really?
No.
Town and Country is a fun golf course. You should play it someday.
The golf courses I play are like $12 a round, so.
Just put the arm on Master CEO Ginny to give you the comp. Get on the golf course. We should call it and pretend we're somebody else. Go, yes, Ms. Hubbard, this is Bilber Ditzman from WW Ditzman.
It went away, Britt. You got to.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
There it is.
There
right
it
there.
is.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Stanley looks good in that picture.
I know. This is
He does. He
from
looks
2015.
good. See, look how nice that is. But yeah, what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is every year since I suppose the company started, the Hubbards throw this great Christmas party. And the food's terrific and the entertainment, but another one of my favorites was I went to that party, and at that time, what's the movie that just came up, so I had to dress just like him?
I'm scared to know if it's. Wait, what year? Say it one more time.
That would have been 1972, I think.
Not Pulp Fiction.
No, it was long before that.
Superfly.
You got it.
Oh!
It was Superfly. And I showed up with that long coat and that big hat.
That's so funny.
I'm 18 years old. I walk up there, and there's Mr. Hubbard standing at the front door. And he looks at me, and I could see by the look in his eye, he's like, what the hell is this now?
Who invited this
Who
guy?
invited this hunyuck? But he looks at me, and then all of a sudden he goes, Merry Christmas, man. I thought it was wonderful.
You know, they must get, it's so funny because they are very businessy.
Yeah.
But they deal with all the personalities. They must just get constantly a moment where they look around and go, what the actual hell is this?
Imagine dealing with salespeople, TV people, and radio people.
No.
Oh, my God.
No.
It's got to be torture.
I remember being at an event one time. I won't say who it is, but he is somebody who is much higher up on the totem pole than all of us. And there was a girl who walked in. She had a super short skirt on with a really tight top, and she was kind of falling out of it. And he looks over at me and he goes, Jesus, who's the guy who stopped by Lake Street before he decided to come to the party tonight? And I was like, that's your new midday gal?
Oh.
He was like, what?
Whoops.
Who employed this person? I was like, yeah. So I kind of walked over. I'm like, people are talking. You should probably put some clothes on. It's not going to be good.
It's something to be said. A lot of the people, when you go to these big parties a lot of these people had never worked in a normal job.
Yes.
I mean, I look at even what we're wearing today, and we could none of us three could go to an office right now.
Yes, I could.
In what you're
Tom
wearing?
could.
What's
Yeah.
wrong with this shirt?
I'm just saying, you're pretty. Yeah, actually, you're pretty put together.
God, what's wrong with you?
Normally, you're not.
Even my shoes match my outfit. Look at that.
I do like the green on green. I'm a huge.
See what I'm saying?
You know how I feel about green. I feel strongly about green. You
Yes.
could probably show up in a casual setting office.
Casual setting?
Yeah.
Well, why not? I got pants on
I'm very impressed because usually you're wearing shorts, and
whenever I can, middle of winter.
I'm not wearing anything appropriate
Please don't
for
stick
any
your
work.
leg up in the air like that
I have
again when I'm
shorts
looking.
on.
I don't care.
I have
It still was vile that you would
sorry.
act like that.
That's where life comes from.
That's who takes care of that whole deal. All right, we'll cover the whole thing and everything will be good. But yeah, that Christmas party, I'm really looking forward to that coming this year because I just missed it last year by about 2 days.
It's so fun.
I
Yeah.
was still working for Shitholia, so I couldn't come to the party.
Yeah. It was a blast.
Not fair.
You mean
is
you
all.
didn't go have your Christmas party over at Lariat Lanes?
Oh, no, it wasn't even that nice the last time. We went like halftime rec or no, that wasn't even, no, was it halftime rec?
Yeah, but I think that's the one with the dirt floor in the basement, right?
I think.
Yeah, maybe. I just remember I remember when we were owned by ABC,
Yes.
that Christmas party was at some hotel.
Yeah.
And I remember like walking in, it was like a grand entrance to a ball. It was amazing. And then the next year they're like, hey, by the way, so the new company says no more Christmas party. And everyone's like, all right, well, we're not going to sink our own dough into it. Where do you guys want to go? And everyone went, Lariat Lanes. I was like, good enough.
That was Hamilton's idea at first, I think.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. It was great going there.
It was super fun.
It was super fun, but when you go from like having shrimp cocktails to having frozen Jack's pizzas the next year, you're like, all right, great.
The one when I realized it was pretty bleak is they were like, we're having a Christmas party, but this year really we mean no budget, and so they said we're all gonna bring your own meal to share.
Yeah.
And I was like, so we brought food to a bar and like plugging in crock pots, and I was like,
What year was this?
I cannot remember. It all such a blur.
Would it have been like, 10 years ago?
Yeah, probably.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
That radio station, that group of radio stations made about $40 million that year.
But
What do you mean they don't have any money?
no, nothing for appetizers.
Oh my God, 40 I would say they might. No, maybe not because the other ones weren't doing that great. But
I gotta
40,
ask.
I'd guess 40.
I gotta ask our listeners, like, is our Christmas parties something in their normal work?
I don't know. I
I don't
see. I didn't ever work for corporations like that. Like I worked for the Hubbards, but then when you work for ABC, never had a Christmas party that I can remember. Well, maybe I just wasn't invited. I think that was the problem.
Shut
Did they have Christmas parties
For which
for
one?
for ABC?
Yeah, that was where it was with the big.
Okay,
that's where they had the
so
big
that
like
was.
grand ballroom. Yeah, it was
Oh.
great.
I'm sure you were invited. I bet you just didn't go.
Well, no. What happened was I was invited, and I said, "Is the general manager coming?" They said, "Yeah." And I said, "Forget it.
I know.
I'm hanging out with general managers who drink. That's not a good idea because by the end of the night, you have to go, shut the F up or I'll behead you.
Behead.
You have to. I mean,
I'm going to decapitate.
no, behead is much better than decapitate.
I know you have loved ones and there's an HR, but hey, man, here's my katana sword.
Yeah, there you go.
Here's the game plan of tonight. The agenda.
My favorite story is, what was Garth, what was his last name, the guy that did afternoons at KQ? Garth Kemp.
Oh, okay.
Garth, do you guys remember Garth Kemp?
I
Oh, you don't remember him?
Ray Eric was the guy that when I was there.
Oh, yeah, Ray. I miss Ray. I love Ray. Great guy. We should have Ray on as a guest.
I would love to. He's the best.
He's
yes.
a great guy.
Yes,
Really
love
nice
him.
man. So let's reach out to Ray Eric, get him on the show. We can have some laughs.
Yeah.
But who the hell was it that I was just thinking about at these Christmas parties? What a setup. That's all I'm saying. And, of course, it was Tom, do you have any cash on you? Because we have to pay for this. Honest to God, as soon as you become what they perceive as very successful, it's all on you.
That's why I'm always going to stay just broke and
That's a good idea.
you're welcome.
You know, I'm not kidding you. That's a good idea. Just stay just above the broke level, because then nobody will bother you.
That's pretty much where I've been hanging out for a long time.
It's so funny because I tuned into. I'm trying to find. Is there such a thing as a middling national news? I've been looking. I cannot find one.
Well, give up.
Well, but I got to find out what's going on in the world, don't I?
No, Catherine said you can't.
So I can't find out what's going on in the world.
No.
But it's just. Oh, that's the big no. Mm-hmm. Is that right next to the FU?
No, that's you suck.
Oh, that was you suck. That's what it was. Okay. No, I I'm trying to find a nice middling viewpoint, but I guess the middling doesn't sell though, does it?
Well, also middling's so close to meddling that I'm having trouble.
Why don't you go take a nap for Christ's sake?
Every time you say middling, I go, why do you want something middling? Oh yeah, middle, not meddling. It just was very
Middling.
close to meddling.
This isn't Scooby Doo. You're not like, oh, those meddling news sources.
Yeah.
Can I read you some emails from
Is
listeners?
there alcohol in that glass?
No, I'm in a good mood, you guys.
Uh-oh, we got to ruin that.
Don't worry.
Okay,
It's
what now?
already closed.
It's coming.
Jeff wrote in, because you know how I asked about Christmas parties. Jeff wrote in, our company used to have Christmas parties, but they stopped having them about 15 years ago.
And for what reason? Does he say what reason?
No, he doesn't. Jeff, get back to us. And then Dave wanted you to tell a sad story, which I don't know if I want you to tell it.
What is it?
I asked you to tell this last week, or when Allie was here, but asked Tommy to tell the B-Day cake story.
The birthday cake? Why? That's not sad. It's just stupid.
It's sad. I think it's sad.
That was Steinmetz, wasn't it?
I'm not sure.
It was Steiny, yeah. Okay, very quickly, because we got to go to break here, but
Okay.
it's true. So I got lucky. I get a call from Dave Hamilton, come and work at KQRS, do the morning show, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm there literally, and I don't know why this happened. They did spend some money on marketing, which they have not heard of in years now, but they spent some money on marketing. But all of a sudden, for some reason, there must have been a gap or a soft spot or something in the market, because the show right from day one just blew up. And that doesn't usually happen, you know? I don't think it was that great a show, so that wasn't what it was. I mean, at first, we were just fine. You know, you're finding your way. It's not that good, really.
Mm-hmm.
But so they started bringing in tons and tons and tons of money. I mean, it was the top rate by far ever paid in this market. Somebody told me it was like $6,000 for 1 minute.
Dang.
Sure.
At times, yeah. Or maybe even more than that, from what I understand.
That's so crazy.
What's so amazing, so we're making money, the money's just pouring in the building for about a year. And then I go to the station one time in November, so this is about a year and a half in. So we're just kicking ass, and they're making tons of money. I go, they have a birthday cake waiting for me on the table in the cafeteria. They light the candles. Everybody comes together. They sing happy birthday. They blow out the candles. And I'm like, oh, that's very nice of you. Thanks for thinking of me. Got my next paycheck. They took the cost of the cake out of my paycheck.
Oh, that's so bleak.
How on earth do you do something like that? A guy has just made you millions and millions and millions of dollars, and you can't pay $30 for a birthday cake?
Yeah, I hope it doesn't sound like we're whining about the fact like, oh, we don't get a Christmas party. We're people who work our asses off to make these companies a lot of money.
Lots of money.
And once a year, and I've told this story before about Hubbard when we got a little box of chocolates.
Yeah.
And somebody this is like my first year at Hubbard, and they were like, can you believe that they gave us just a small box of chocolates for Christmas? I'm like, well, first off, you get a kick-ass Christmas party coming up in like 3 days.
Yeah.
And secondly, a box of chocolates is probably 10 times more than you will get from any other radio station in this market. So enjoy it.
And everybody who's left theirs in their mailbox for more than 3 weeks, I ate them.
Yep.
Remember Charles, the UPS delivery guy?
Yeah.
Black man in America today? Mm-hmm. Remember how happy he was at one Christmas because they gave away bathrobes, KQRS bathrobes? And I gave mine to Charles.
That'd be so legit to have. I mean, I guess you'd have to throw it out by now if you were using it.
Yeah, I would hope so.
But that's actually cool and really weird that you'd have a KQRS bathrobe.
Why a bathrobe?
I don't know. Right now, there's somebody at a Goodwill going, why is there a Tom Bernard bathrobe hanging on one of these racks?
Oh,
Charles
if you find one of those at KQ or at Goodwill, I will buy it from you.
God,
and I will keep it in here and just use it as like my sweatshirt.
It's all true.
It's all true.
Okay, we're going to close with this because I got to go to break. But
yeah.
Remember the first TV campaign we had for the KQ Morning Show?
I feel like I've seen commercials of it on YouTube or something, but please go ahead.
There was a guy who weighed about 400 pounds dancing. Remember that one?
Yes, I do remember that.
with the headphones, right?
Yep.
That's the guy. Okay? About 10% of people thought that was me.
That's rough.
Like, thank you. Thank
That
you so
is-
much. This guy couldn't fit in this room. For
That would
free.
break me as a person.
Is that you? No, it's not me.
Oh, that would end
Jesus,
me.
Palomino.
That would
All right, I'm taking
rest
a break
in peace,
because
my heart.
I'm hyperventilating, so I got to take a break. When Mike invented My Pillow, it had everything you could ever want in a pillow. Now, nearly 20 years later, he discovered a new technology makes My Pillow even better. The My Pillow 2.0 has a patented adjustable fill of the original My Pillow, and now with a brand new fabric that is made with a temperature-regulating thread. The My Pillow 2.0 is the softest, smoothest, and coolest pillow you will ever own. Say goodbye to tossing and turning and flipping your pillow over in the middle of the night. More great news on the My Pillow 2.0 buy one get one free offer with promo code TOM. My Pillow 2.0 with its temperature regulating technology is 100% made in the United States, comes with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Just go to mypillow.com and click on the radio podcast square to receive the My Pillow 2.0 buy one get one free offer. Just when you thought My Pillow couldn't get any better, My Pillow 2.0 gives you the best pillow ever. Enter promo code TOM. You could probably use it too. Did you know, by the way, I saw a little thing, a study that's been done, because a lot of our listeners don't use promo codes. They just buy the product and they don't pay attention to that kind of deal.
Well, knock it off.
Yeah, I mean, but how do you tell people who have a lot of money that listen to you to knock it off? Because they can buy all the products you sell.
I just mean use the promo code, use that, and then you can take me to lunch.
I've been
That'd
begging
save
them.
Money.
Our listeners won't listen to me. Enter promo code Tom or call 800-516-5146 to get your My Pillow 2.0s now.
Hi, I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. If you've been hurt in a car collision, it's traumatic enough. You don't need to waste time and energy on the legal stuff. Think of us as a partner who will guide you through the process. First off, you need to recover, but part of that is getting the compensation you deserve. At Bradshaw & Bryant, we'll work hard so you can get the rest you need during the trying months after a personal injury. At Bradshaw & Bryant, we understand how important it is to make our clients comfortable, so we build each client relationship on the pillars of honesty and transparency. Don't miss out on what's rightfully yours. We'll go to bat for you. For your free case consultation, please visit minnesotapersonalinjury.com. That's minnesotapersonalinjury.com. I'm Mike Bryan, and I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to Bradshaw & Bryant.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
With Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw & Bryant.
Hi, this is Tom Barnard. If you've been listening, you know I'm a fan of Nissan vehicles. I own an Altima. My son and daughter-in-law both own Nissans, and we bought them all at Walzer Nissan stores here in the metro. They hang their hats in Burnsville, Wayzata, and Coon Rapids. So why is Walzer different than other Nissan stores? And why should you absolutely go there this month? Tell them I personally sent you to lease or buy your next vehicle. First, there's Walzer Care, a complimentary powertrain warranty that will keep you covered for miles to come for free at Walzer Nissan. This month, you can score 0% financing for up to 60 months on select Nissans, or you can lease the 2023 Nissan Pathfinder S for only $269 a month. You'll need to tell them you want the Tommy B deal, of course. That's understood. So, not just Nissan, but Walzer Nissan, Burnsville, Wayzata, and Coon Rapids. Don't forget to let them know the Tom Barnard family sent you and ask for the Tommy B deal. Go to walzer.com and select the Walzer Nissan store nearest you.
$269 per month for 24 months, 10,000 miles per year, 5,900 due at signing, VIN PC 261725.
Do you ever Google yourself? Are you happy with what you find? Or is it cringy? Are you a business owner or on your company's marketing team? How do you feel when you Google your own place? What do you see? A non-updated social media page you don't even remember making? Ads for your competitors? An old school website with outdated information? Hubbard Interactive can help. They can do it all for your business. They're a Google Premier partner, so they can use search engine optimization to get your click results higher. They can build a 21st century website for you that communicates all the right things all the best ways. They've got a photo and video department to make your business look sharp, plus social media, influencer marketing, podcasting, and more. All the things that will make you a lot happier next time you Google yourself. Here's a Google search that you'll find rewarding. Hubbard Interactive. You can see all the marketing tools they've used on hundreds of successful businesses, including an extensive gallery of the great work they could help your venture with. HubbardInteractive.com. Building campaigns that connect.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. I want to throw the forecast at you because basically, what are the great words of J.D. Salinger and Catcher in the Rye? How cold was it, according to J.D. Salinger?
Witch's
Witch's
tit.
tit.
You
I was
got
thinking
it.
Witch's tit.
Colder than a witch's tit. I will never forget that.
That's a good trivia question.
Oh, it's a great line,
I
too.
knew it. I was thinking of I always think of like a blue tit when anyone says that, like a freezing blue witch boob.
Who was the young actress that he got really creepy around? As J.D. Salinger got older, he started following around this young movie star or something.
I don't know.
You remember that?
Sounds like something Drew Barrymore would have happen when she
Yeah,
was just
that's-
coming up.
It's
the
about
ranks.
that era.
Yeah.
It was about. You might be right. It might have been her, but I remember.
Elaine Joyce, was that it?
Oh, Elaine Joyce is a very pretty young woman. So he was stalking her.
Oh, and then Una O'Neill, J.D. Salinger's love interest, Rebel in the Rye.
Yep.
I don't. Yeah, there's a few that he seemed like he was
He was
quite
stalking him.
smitten with. J.D. Salinger.
Quite smitten or stalking.
I'm
I
not
like that.
sure.
That's a good combo right there. So yeah, it's colder than a witch's tit. At least it was about an hour ago. They say it's 50. Well, it hasn't. The temperature hasn't gone up at all. It's still 56. But there's a chill in the air, man. It's a wind, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, it just feels like when we both stepped, because you and I got here at the same time, we both stepped
Yeah.
out of the car. I was like, you have a closed-in garage. I have a connected garage too, and so
Right.
you kind of, are in the elements. And then we both got in the car and we instantly
God.
regretted our outfit choices.
It was just freezing, for Christ's sake. So here's the deal. Morning clouds and then mostly sunny, pleasant with a high 75, so it'll be gorgeous today again. Friday, sunny, a bit warmer, high 78. Saturday, mostly sunny, 81. Sunday, mostly sunny, 83. So for the next 4 days. And after that, it's really nice, too. Possibly, I don't know, we'll see how it works out. Oh, I should do Memorial Day, too, because it's a 3-day weekend. Memorial Day, partly to mostly sunny and very warm with a high of 88. So the next 5 days look really, really good. Do you ever look at a forecast 6 days out and go, oh, that's what it...
No.
It's never accurate.
I don't even mean, like, as soon as you start getting to the 3 or 4 day, I go,
Right.
I'm not retaining any of this. I am listening, but I'm not retaining. My mom texted and said, cold as a witch's tit in a brass bra.
In a brass bra. That's
I've never heard
very
that
good.
part.
Your mom, I love your mom.
Beverly.
Where's your mom?
My mom loves you, and it's so
Yeah, where the hell is
annoying.
she? She never comes around anymore.
Well, they're coming back from Florida right now.
Are they?
They're driving back right
Where
now.
do they go?
They go to Fort Myers.
Gee, what a shock. A Minnesotan in Fort Myers. Who ever heard of it?
I have the cutest picture of you and my mom. We were at that 80s cruise. We went on that 80s cruise.
Oh, God.
That, like, river cruise or whatever. Mm-hmm. And you guys are so... She's in, like, a full 80s attire, and you're just like, what are we doing here? My mom loves you. It's so annoying every time.
She's a sweetheart.
Be nice to Tom, Brittany.
Yeah, Brittany.
I hate Beverly.
Beverly, you're the best.
No.
Who loves you more than me, Beverly?
I
Your
do.
daughter. No, you said you didn't. That's what you told me
I'm
off the air.
so excited for her and my stepdad to come home.
That is great.
It's great.
It is wonderful having her around. Man, now, way to make me feel worse. You guys both have parents. I got nothing.
I know. But you went to Fonny's dance recital last night.
And I will tell you, my mother's final goodbye to me was still one of the greatest things of all time.
Oh.
Honest to God, very quickly. I'm holding her hand. She's going to die. I have to leave town for 2 weeks because I got to go to New York and do some stuff. So I wasn't going to see her. And she goes, Tom, there's no way I'm going to still be alive when you get back. I'm like, oh, you don't know that. So I'm holding her hand and telling her how much I love her and all that stuff and blah, blah, blah. I said, Mom, the great thing about it is that if you do pass away before I get back, the good thing for you, you've loved the Virgin Mary your whole life. You're an ardent Catholic. You get to meet the Virgin Mary. And she paused, looked up at me and said, yeah, don't give me that.
Because coming from you, she knew what you believed
The
in.
greatest of all time.
She's like, listen,
Your own mother, her last words to you are, yeah, bullshit.
get out of here. Don't miss your flight.
I do miss that woman, though. God, she was a wonderful human being.
Yeah.
It is always the worst when people are about to, kick the bucket and they say something that makes you never forget them. Because my grandmother, who I understand, my grandmother had her moments, where she could it'd be a little feisty.
Yeah.
But at the end, apparently, my mom was up there. It was like hours before she had passed, and my grandmother looked at my mom and said something along the lines of, "I wish I would have done things better." And my mom said, well, Mom, that's ridiculous. Like, I can't imagine that you would have any regrets. And apparently my grandmother looked at my mom with eyes like Scott Studwell, just on fire, and said, you don't know what I've done.
Oh, well.
I was like, Mom, why did you tell me that?
Well.
No, I carry this with Grandma.
No, you pass it on to me,
No.
Rudy. You pass it on to us.
Yes.
I can't carry this burden, even like
That's true.
peripherally.
It's a very good point.
Grammy's got a halo. Now she's got devil horns. What the hell did she do?
What did she do? And did she want to tell? And if she did, you shut it down. Your mom can't carry that weight.
Don't want to know.
Don't want to know.
When was your grandmother born?
Oh, it had to have been, I think it must have been like late 20s, early 30s.
Did you think she was a gun mall in New York?
I feel like there was some stuff there.
There's something there.
There's something there,
Yeah,
Oh,
probably.
what I've
Yep.
done.
You don't know what I've done.
But maybe you just have to have a cool thing to say before you go. Because knowing me, it'll be like, turn on the Real Housewives before you go. It'll be something so dumb.
Yeah.
Oh, God. My favorite death story, though, is still Don Rickles. I guarantee you when I die, now, don't get me wrong, I'm very fond of my wife. She's a wonderful person, all the rest of it. But I guarantee you when they find me dead and they have my funeral,
Find you dead.
my wife's going to say, oh, did he die?
Oh, Okay, well.
Poor Don Rickles.
Oh, did he die? That's so funny.
I think he was one of the funniest human beings ever born, and there's no way he could do his act today. No way.
He is so funny. There were so many. If you go back and watch any of his interviews, I mean, they're just hostile.
Oh, yeah.
And hilarious.
One of the nicest men you'd ever want to meet, though.
I
And I'm
bet.
not
No,
kidding.
I
just
just
a
think-
wonderful, nice guy.
I think people that really are in showbiz that, like, probably are smart enough to realize how ridiculous it is
Right.
have an edge to them, and it's hilarious.
I think that's true. Mm-hmm. I think that's very, very true. Some great. I don't know. Now, Rudy, you'd be the one to answer this one. Is there, there are obviously many established acts, all the rest of it. Some, and I don't want to refer them as middling, but some that haven't, maybe bubbling under. They haven't quite made it yet. Mm-hmm. Are there some young people coming up that are just really kicking ass you think that we should probably pay attention to?
Rosebud Baker.
I don't know that name even.
She is her dad or her uncle. What I think was Steve Baker. He was like the Secretary of Defense.
Really?
But Rosebud is, I think one of the funniest and sharpest comics you will ever see. She is just, everything that comes out of her mouth is so funny. Steph Toloff is another one. Matt Bronger. These are all people that are like just a step below. They're all headliners, but they're not quite past the end. Dan Soder is another one. And
I know Dan Soder.
Yeah, great guy. Yeah, for
he's
sure.
a nice guy.
And who should be much higher up on the totem pole than where he's at right now. And there's a few people out there where you're like, okay, you've come a long way, but you got about another 2 years before people are really going to know who you are. Yeah,
I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we need comedy more than ever right now. And like I said, if we can just kind of try to bring this together instead of puking up our hatred, that'd be really wonderful. And I think, like in 1982 it happened, and it needs to happen again, that comedy needs to step up and take that front seat, because that's the only way we're going to get out of this.
Yeah.
We got to start laughing again, man. I mean, I do anyway, but it all works out in the end. I laugh at Kristyn Burtt all the time. That's all I know. No matter what she does. I just go, you are a disaster.
Got it.
What an introduction. Wait, I need to share this. I don't know if you can see it with the camera, but this is Rosebud Baker with Scandival, Britt.
Oh! OMG, I need more. I'm looking this up.
She was pregnant and
great.
took her baby to her first concert was Tom Scandival. There you go.
That's so sad.
Now, who is that you're showing?
It was Rosebud Baker with Tom
Rosebud
Sandoval, who's been the Vanderpump Rules disaster we've been talking about over and over again. I just thought that was a funny transition because I was like, I'm always looking for new female comedians to follow. So thanks for the suggestion, Rudy.
Yeah. She's
There
one of
you
the
go.
best. I opened up for her, like, I don't know, about 5-6 months ago, and it's funny because she's going to be on the road with Bert Kreischer coming up here.
Oh, Bert's a great guy.
Yeah, and doing stadium tours. She will be, like, literally, no joke, in stadiums, 60,000 people,
Jesus.
and about 8 months pregnant at the time. So,
Man.
yeah.
Kicking some serious butt. I love it.
Bert Kreischer tells some of the greatest stories. That whole deal with the swords on a train in Russia.
Oh, my God. Yeah, The Machine. That movie comes out this week, I think.
Oh, does
right?
it come out
Yeah,
this week?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bert's a great guy, really good guy. So Kristyn Burtt, I watched episode 2 of Jury Duty, and it's okay so far.
That's a win. That's a win, people.
I
It
know.
is okay,
It's in
so-
the positive category.
But didn't you tell me the third episode when it really kicks in anyway?
Third episode.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because
This
I
is
mean, I
definitely
like
a
it.
show- Yeah, this is definitely a show. It needs the exposition, so you kind of like understand because it is an ensemble of characters, and they're all going to factor into Ronald Gladden's experience.
Yeah.
So that is definitely a situation where you kind of just have to follow all of that. But I promise, just stick with it.
I think it's really, really good. I shouldn't say it's really good. It's good so far. It's not a knockout comedy. I laugh, but not over the top. But I do like everybody in it.
Yeah, and the premise is so interesting. You know, it's
Yeah.
so funny. I had watched Jury Duty alone, and then my husband kind of joined in maybe halfway through, and he's like, "Oh, I know him, I know her." Like
Right.
he knew a lot of the actors in it. So I wonder. I need to ask him because he finished it this weekend, this past weekend. If it was a different experience knowing the actors. Versus not knowing. I didn't know any of the actors who participated in the actual show itself.
But the tall, lanky guy is from Parks and Rec. Did you watch Parks and Rec ever?
I did, yeah. But it's like a lot of the sub characters. Like he knew pretty much everybody. They've all
Okay.
been in the business a long time. So
Because that was the only one that kind of took me out of it, where I go, oh my God, that guy is from Parks and Rec.
Yeah, his name is Kirk Fox, and he's a little, because he also does Reservation Dogs.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, he's a little too famous to be on there.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
If I recognize him, and I'm, by no means in the know right now, I was like, that's not a good sign. But
and he's been on TikTok really talking about his experience and kind of behind the scenes. So Kirk is given like a real insider on how they did stuff. So if you're interested, go and check out his TikTok account.
Okay, I have a question for you, Kristyn Burtt, KB2.
Yes.
If Uncle Tommy really likes one character on Jury Duty, and I really do like this character, who would it be? This is easy. Who would my favorite character?
I know.
so far?
I know.
Do you?
I know. Yes.
Yeah. Who is it?
It's the female police officer.
No, I do love her too.
I was
though.
like,
she's
that's
phenomenal.
so your vibe.
She is phenomenal. You're right about
Okay, that was my guess.
Okay,
No.
that's your guess. I'm gonna guess the crazy woman.
Nope.
I don't want to. I was gonna say she's a part of a scene, but you haven't reached it yet.
You haven't reached there yet, so I can't
You
figure it
haven't
out.
reached it yet, so I can't say like, oh, it's that scene.
If there's one person on that show that would remind me of myself, who would that be? This is easy. This is really easy. If you'd known me more than 2 weeks, you would know the guy and I have a very similar personality.
I feel like James Marsden is just a little too on the nose.
I love that guy.
Yeah.
I know.
I love James Marsden. No, the judge. I love the judge on that
sure.
show.
The judge is great.
Judd.
Okay, I was
He's a good
close
judge.
though.
Oh, he's phenomenal, isn't he?
Yes.
It's like, why don't you shut up over there?
I know. Especially after his car gets broken into and they build
I
the
don't
whole...
know about this. 6 days.
That's on the second episode.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
It
remember
might even be the
anybody's car
first
getting broke.
episode. Yeah.
Oh, maybe it is the first episode because I didn't remember it from last
He
night.
gets all mad and his hand's bandaged up, and all of a sudden he's just not taking
Oh, yeah, I
anyone's
remember
crap
that.
anymore.
That was the first episode.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that now. You're right.
Yeah, he's a real retired judge, so that's
Well,
why he's so
touchdown.
believable.
They did a great job because he's a perfect pick. He's like,
He's
oh my
perfect.
God.
And I'm the worst. I don't have a poker face. I would be the worst person for this show.
Oh,
I
I'd
would
be
be
so-
laughing.
I'd be a wreck. I'd be like, okay, I'd go to my doctor and say, I need it all Botox. I need all of this to not move at all because I'd be like, I would be a wreck.
I can't hold it in. And like once I like get the giggles,
Totally.
I'm gone. I can't collect. I would be like the worst person on Saturday Night Live. I'd be the one breaking character every single weekend.
Oh, can
Same.
you imagine how bad you'd have to be the worst person on Saturday Night Live? You'd have to be terrible.
Yeah,
Oh, that's about right for me. I'd be Jimmy Fallon. He never kept it together in any sketch.
No, he did not. That's true. He didn't. What the hell? It all works out in the end, right?
Yes,
You
for
know.
sure.
But again last night. So we watched Jury Duty, and then we watched an episode of Abbott Elementary. There's only one season of Abbott. I thought there were 2.
There's 2.
Yeah, there's 2.
I couldn't find the second season.
I think they only have one. Are you watching it on HBO?
I believe
I
Max.
think has one season.
They only have one
Yeah.
up right now.
Oh, so
Go to
Max.
Hulu.
Okay.
Both seasons are there, or your
Okay.
ABC app.
All right, because we've only got one episode left of the first season, so then I'll move over to Hulu and watch the second. Because I thought there were 2 seasons.
There are, and things ramp up in season 2. I won't spoil it, but it's a good season, and a really good sophomore season too. They did not have that sophomore slump that you often see with shows, where like they come out of the gate, roaring, and then you're like, oh, this isn't as good as it was. They did a good job in season 2.
There are so many people on that show that remind me of people that I grew up around, like my friends' mothers, people like that. Like the principal of the school.
Yes.
She reminds me of a friend of mine's mother, because except for my friend's mother talked so fast, you could not understand a damn word she was saying. You don't come down here and mess around with me. Don't do it again. It's like, what the hell are you saying?
That's a principle sometimes. Like, I have to put in the subtitles sometimes because she talks, and I talk fast, too. So I'm always like, what did she... But it is funny. Abbott Elementary is one of those ones...
Love it.
You should rewatch. It's kind of like The
Yeah,
Office, where
great
you
show.
go, there's a lot of little jokes you could miss.
Oh, yeah.
And if you throw the subtitles on, you will die because you'll go, oh, that's hilarious.
I think it's a very East Coast pattern of speech. I mean, they're Philadelphia, but I find that people on the East Coast talk very fast. And I've had to slow down even my own speech pattern just growing up because I would talk like this naturally with the conversation and people are like, what are you saying? And I'm like,
relatable.
That's it.
Relatable.
I really think it's an East Coast thing because here on the West Coast, people talk so slow. And in my head, sometimes I'm listening to a conversation and I'm like, oh my gosh, hurry it up. Get to the point.
Who's the handsome young black teacher?
Oh.
The guy.
Oh,
handsome, I said so.
Tyler.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, what is his full name? He's so good.
You know what I love about his
He was
character?
originally the kid in Chris Rock's sitcom.
Yeah,
Tyler
right.
James Williams.
Is
Or
it
Tyler James Williams.
That's who it is?
Yeah.
I love that every time he hits a bump on the road, and you have to pay attention because once in a while he just kind of whispers it.
Yeah.
Because something will happen, you go, it's because I'm black.
Or like,
everybody in the school's black, you dope.
he'll just say something very funny under his breath. I know.
It's very funny.
I think if you're going to rewatch that show, that's definitely a good one because you've missed so much.
Was it Quinta? What's Quinta's last name?
Quinta Brunson.
Quinta Brunson. She is terrific on that show, too.
So good. And for people that don't know, she is the creator and head writer on the show. So she's unbelievable. Has become a superstar. Totally deserves it. And I just love what they're doing with the show. Lisa Ann Walters, fantastic. She's another one.
Is that the redhead?
Yeah. And people will recognize her from...
Reminds me of somebody.
Who?
God, who else do we know that has red hair and has an attitude? Oh, that's right, Catherine Brandt. That's who it is.
KB1.
KB1. She's got an attitude. There's no doubt about that. Oh,
yeah,
God.
Lisa Ann Walters, fantastic. And I genuinely, and I think I've said this before, this cast genuinely likes working with each other, and it shows.
Yeah.
You'll see them at award shows, and they're all together as a group. They're all attending as a group. That is, I will tell you, that is very rare when people actually all get along.
The 12th episode, the superintendent of schools hates the principal at Abbott Elementary. So he comes and they have to do a deal do we deserve more money coming into the school or whatever? And I can't remember his name, but the superintendent of schools, he sits there, he listens to everybody talk about they need money for this, money for this, money for this. And he gets up and goes, okay, well, that's going to wrap up the meeting. I ain't giving you anything. And walks out of the door. It just reminds me of North High School. I'm just telling you.
So funny.
It's a very funny show.
Yeah,
so yeah, I got
so well done.
I got one more episode, and then I'm going to season 2 of that. I got 6 more episodes of Jury Duty, because it's 8 episodes, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I got 6 more to go there. And Catherine likes it too. She likes Jury Duty a lot.
She also likes The Good Place. She's got good taste.
Oh, The Good Place. I'm having such
You just have a Ted Danson issue. I'm just never going to let that go with you because you were like, she's away. I've got to finish it. I can't get through an episode.
Oh, God. It's just, ever since he wore blackface to hang out with Whoopi Goldberg, I'm like,
I don't even think
God.
you got to the twist. You did not even get to the twist of The Good Place. So you don't
No, I
even
didn't.
understand the premise of the show.
Okay. All right. Is he punished somehow? Just kidding. No, I used to really like him. I thought he was terrific on the bar one. Cheers.
Cheers.
He was terrific on there, and after that, he's been okay.
Sam Malone.
Sam
that
Malone,
cast though. I mean, that's an iconic show
Oh
too.
God.
And I think what's even more iconic about Cheers, I don't know if people remember this, but when they did the series finale, and I think it was 1993, if I'm correct, they had a live special with Jay Leno, but they drank the whole time.
Oh, God.
By the time they got to the live special, everyone was like completely tanked and could barely hold it together. And there's Jay, like the only sober one. And you know what that's like when you're the only sober one in a group of drunk people. It was a hot mess.
I could see that. You know what we should do, Brittany? We'll have to take one for the team.
What's that?
But we'll get everybody in studio, and we'll all start drinking and see who gets arrested first.
Wait, in this scenario, you and I are drinking as well?
Yes.
Okay, well,
So we know who's
can I
gonna
be
get
the
arrested
only
first.
sober one in the room?
I'll be the first one passed out after like a drink and a half.
Yeah,
so.
there you go. There you
I
go.
don't mean to be rude, but I feel like a thimble would get you drunk.
Ooh. Yeah, you don't seem to be a big drinker. You don't have a big drinker
I am not
attitude.
a big drinker, and I have to be like if I go out for dinner and have a drink, I have to finish the drink really early, eat the entire meal, wait a bit, and then drive home.
So, like heroin, you do that?
No.
Well, I just thought I'd throw it out there.
What?
Well, listen, she does the heroin very early.
It's early in the
eats a
day,
meal,
yes,
and then
yes.
she drives home.
Exactly.
It's by the time
It
she
takes
goes to
a really
bed.
long time. I have to make it a really long evening if I have a glass of alcohol.
It's like heroin's like a 3-day weekend thing.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, is it?
Oh, well, I have one coming up ahead.
Perfect.
Well, that's right.
Fine.
We got a 3-day weekend this week. That sounds good to me.
Yeah, I'm going to see Shania Twain.
I love her. God, she's good. She's really good.
We had a Shania Twain day yesterday, Kristen.
I missed it.
Yes. Everything was just Shania Twain quotes left and right. And like that's why Rudy's eyes just got huge.
Like, no, don't bring up Shania again.
He just got PTSD from our whole day yesterday.
No.
I love her so much.
Complete opposite. I'm a big fan.
Are you?
I love it. Yeah.
I love that we both screwed up. Whose bed have your boots been under? We both messed that one up.
Well, I was going to drop the, you're going to see Shania Twain?
That don't impress me much.
Yeah, she's playing at the Hollywood Bowl, so it's perfect
that'd be
venue.
good.
You think you're Kristyn Burtt? That don't impress me much.
And by the way, let me close with this. That's not what she said. She actually said, whose boots are your bed under?
Me and Rudy both screwed
That's right.
that
You
up.
both screwed that up.
I incepted Rudy with the wrong words. And then we both go, who boots have your bed been under? And then we both go,
Like, what?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
Somebody's walking around on your bed with their boots on. It's a nice touch. All right, sister, we'll talk to you tomorrow. We'll wrap it up before a 3-day weekend for everybody.
Sounds good.
Thank you, dear. Have a good
Bye.
day. Kristyn Burtt, ladies and gentlemen, we got to take a break. Be right back in a couple of minutes. You know, I've always said, you can't count on 2 nice weekends in a row until mid-June in Minnesota, and we're only a couple of weeks away from mid-June now. Well, 3 weeks, I guess. Once again, we're right on the money. What better time to lose weight like I'm doing with mnfatloss.com? The program's been great for me. And again, let me throw in quickly. I get called to a lot of dinners, meetings, blah, blah, blah. So my weight tends to go up and down a little bit, but as long as it keeps dropping, and you can do that on this program. You got to do what you got to do, right?
Got to do what you got to do.
So I've been, the program has been great for me. I've lost 23 pounds so far. I've been on the program for a little over a month. I'm not feeling hungry, and that's true. You do not get hungry. I am feeling healthier, and I've got plenty of energy, too. I wouldn't follow a fat loss program that isn't safe. I got to be around to do this podcast. You know that. I'm proving that you can if you lose 20 to 30 pounds in just a couple of months. Do yourself a favor. Check out the program at mnfatloss.com. Very easy program to follow. Seriously. Of course, results may vary, but I'm losing weight, and I feel great. If you want to find out the secret to losing 20 to 30 pounds in just 8 weeks, just like I'm doing, that's about a pound of fat every day, by the way. No exercise required. To schedule your free consultation, go to mnfatloss.com. That is mnfatloss.com. Please be sure to tell them Tom Barnard sent you.
The new Tom Barnard Morning Show is proud to have partners like Bradshaw and Bryant, MyPillow, and North American Banking Company founder, chairman, and president, Mike Bilski.
I've advertised on Tom's show for years, and the reason is simple. My business is recognized because of the ads, and that recognition has created growth. What business doesn't want to grow? I highly recommend the Tom Barnard Morning Show for your advertising.
Grow results for your business by partnering with the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner.
Hi, this is Tom Barnard. If you've been listening, you know I'm a fan of Nissan vehicles. I own an Altima. My son and daughter-in-law both own Nissans, and we bought them all at Walzer Nissan stores here in the Metro. They hang their hats in Burnsville, Wayzata, and Coon Rapids. So why is Walzer different than other Nissan stores, and why should you absolutely go there this month? Tell them I personally sent you to lease or buy your next vehicle. First, there's Walzer Care, a complimentary powertrain warranty that will keep you covered for miles to come for free at Walzer Nissan. This month, you can score 0% financing for up to 60 months on select Nissans, or you can lease the 2023 Nissan Pathfinder S for only $269 a month. You'll need to tell them you want the Tommy B deal, of course. That's understood. So, not just Nissan, but Walzer Nissan, Burnsville, Wayzata, and Coon Rapids. Don't forget to let them know the Tom Barnard family sent you and ask for the Tommy B deal. Go to walzer.com and select the Walzer Nissan store nearest you.
$269 per month for 24 months, 10,000 miles per year, $5,900 due at signing, VIN PC 261725.
Why should your business bank with North American Banking Company? Here's Corey Wisco of the Wellshire.
It's difficult to put in words the relationship that we have with North American Banking Company. You know, they've been there from the very beginning with our vision of providing quality dementia care for individuals, and they've been a partner all the way through. They really are there for us.
For more information about North American Banking Company, go to nabankco.com. That's nabankco.com. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. News and information. Got Chris Egert coming up in just about 20 minutes from now, somewhere in there, 15, 20 minutes. I really like him. I've been watching him when I get up in the morning. He's on, I think at 5:30 is when he first comes on, I think.
He's so serious when he's doing the news.
I'm doing the news, and I'm very serious about it, damn it.
Call me Mr. Egert.
Well, I do that anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, you got to get that cooking, no question about it. But, yeah, he will join us in a few minutes. I guess about 15, 20. Somewhere in there. This might be the most petty but brilliant way you could get back at someone. A woman in the UK is going viral after she caught her boyfriend cheating, got back at him by hiding smelly food in his apartment. There's a video where she opens up the curtain rods above one of his windows, stuffs a bunch of shrimp in there. Oh, God, that's got to smell good.
In the curtain rod?
You know, I once had a friend, well, two friends actually, and my friend on one side just bought a new car.
Yeah.
And the guy thought it was fun. Well, the other guy thought it was funny to hide, like, seafood under his seat.
Yeah.
Well, apparently it didn't smell at first, but by the time he did smell it, it was rotting so bad,
No!
it literally destroyed the interior of his car.
No!
He had to pull it all out because it all smelled horrible.
I have a real problem with, like, mold. Like, mold really gets to me. Your wife... Your precious, darling, amazing wife told me she left salmon in the trunk of her car.
Oh, yeah.
And it literally made me dry heave for 20 minutes.
It just reeks.
Oh,
God, it stinks. Unbelievable, man.
You're unbelievable.
By the way, the same guy who thought it was funny to put shrimp and lobster under somebody's driver's seat.
Is not a fun...
He did.
Flirty prank. Not a fan.
You know what else he used to do when we used to go golfing together?
Huh.
And I don't know where he printed these up, but they looked beautiful. It was a piece of paper that looked exactly like a Minnesota license plate for your car.
Yeah.
Except on every one of them it said, "I'm drunk."
Oh, God.
Like, why would you do that?
So he'd put it over, like, your license?
So it looked like the real license plate. So it would say, "I'm drunk." It's like, why would you do that to people?
Could you imagine getting pulled over and being so confused?
Well, because most guys leaving golf courses probably are drunk.
That's
so.
probably a good point.
I'm sure they're not driving, though. They're taking taxis.
I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
I'm sure back in the day especially.
You'd actually know the person I'm talking about, too, but I'm not going to tell you on the air who it is.
All right, I'm fine with that.
What could you say instead? I don't like saying... I'm not going to tell you on digital who it is. That on the air thing.
On air, because we're on air.
Are we?
If we had a little light, it would go on air.
Would it?
Yeah.
Okay. Never mind.
There's air. I mean, there's. Oh. Well, we're on cords. We're on.
Hey, we're on cords.
We're on. There's airwaves, right? Yeah. I don't actually know how science works at all.
We'll do it this way. Much like the woman in front of Tom last night, we're on your phone all the time.
Oh, no. I bet you loved that.
Oh, God, did that piss me off.
Getting back to pranks, it's so different when men prank men differently than women prank women, right?
We don't prank each other.
That's the thing. Like, a woman will prank somebody and be like, I gave Anne Riesling when she wanted Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah, boy, that's hilarious.
No, we don't. That's not even that. We're not even that. We have no time for that.
My friends pulled a prank where they pretended to kidnap me.
What?
Did you believe it?
Yes.
Okay.
It was so well done that they literally tried to tie me up and throw me in a car and kidnap me.
Where was this?
It was up in Hibbing, Minnesota. A friend of mine was like, "Hey, I got to go buy some weed. Can you drop me off?" And I'm like, "Sure." So we pull into this parking lot, and he's waiting, and we see a car pull up around this building, and he's like, "I'll be right back." And he walks out, and he walks around the building, and then all of a sudden, 10 seconds later, I see this car come screeching out from behind the building, and I'm like, what the hell happened? And I pull up to the building, and I look behind it, and there's my friend laying on the ground.
Oh, Jesus.
And I'm like, oh, my God. So I get out, and I go to help him, and as I'm helping him up, 3 dudes in ski masks tackle me and start to put my hands behind my back. They go to my car. They try to get the trunk open. I wiggle out and take off running. And I go to a friend's house, call the police.
No!
Yes, absolutely. Somebody tried to kidnap me. This is all happening. Meanwhile, the cops show up. A friend of mine comes knocking on our other friend's door, whose house I went to, and was like, oh my God, dude, that was a prank. I'm like, well, the cops are on their way.
Jesus.
The cops show up, and they have this whole thing like, hey, man. So luckily we didn't get cited for it. At least those guys didn't get cited for it. But that was the most trauma, because in the moment you're like,
Yes.
that was really funny.
No, I would not.
Nightmares for months.
I
It
would
not
not.
go away.
You
Yeah.
had PTSD
Yes.
in your real life.
Yes.
Like, I always think when things like that happen, is like you were in your everyday life. Like, when I think about Kuwait or Iraq, I was in a different place. I wasn't in my home, so it's kind of easy for me to divide those things up.
Sure.
But you were living your normal life, and that happened.
Yeah.
That's not funny.
Oh, I was the best man in one of those guys' weddings. Like, that's how guys treat it. Is
But,
we
like,
just
you
move
had,
on.
like, you probably can still get triggered by something with that.
Oh, yeah. Anytime somebody makes me drop them off to go buy weed, I'm like, listen, fool me once, shame on you.
I'll get an Uber next time.
Yeah.
How did they know you didn't have a gun?
Oh, I mean, they were my best friends.
They
I was
knew him.
16.
Doesn't
not
They
matter.
knew him in and
I
out.
still
Christ,
shoot that sumbitch.
Yeah.
Well, I was 16. It's not like, it wasn't like Minneapolis, you know? Yeah.
Were they all 16?
Yeah, we were like 16,
Oh,
17.
so they
yeah.
were that young. That
Yeah.
it's still not a good thing to be pulling up at 16. I could see, 16-year-olds doing that.
Yeah, so.
That's true.
I'm not like a prank person.
I'm not either. I
It's rare that I would be into giving, like, pranking somebody. Like, my pranks would be like, oh, I jumped from a door quickly just now and the kind of, hey, and that's it, and it's short-lived.
How'd you say hi again?
Hi. Hi, I was hiding. Now I'm here.
Jesus.
I'm not a pranky person. Are you somebody who does pranks as well, Rudy?
I used to be, but not anymore.
Right?
Yeah, it kind of gets out of your system. I think people prank because they want attention. Like, look what
Yeah,
I did to
maybe,
that
yeah.
person. And now that I'm in my 40s, I don't need any of that.
I'm telling you, if anyone did that to me, that kidnapped me, I would be ruined. I hate feeling, nobody likes feeling that insecure or that lack of security feeling.
Mm-hmm.
That would
Vulnerable,
ruin
yeah.
me. My house got broken into twice.
Really?
Yeah, once while I was there.
Oh, God.
And it ruined me for a very long
I
time.
can see that. Yep.
And I could not imagine the idea of getting pranked as, like, attack you, tie you up. Oh my God, the trunk opening?
Yeah.
Game over.
Is that like a small town kind of thing, you think?
Yeah, there's nothing else to do. It was either that
Yeah,
or
I
go
can see.
drink out of a keg and, knock somebody up.
Don't forget about meth.
Sure.
Meth was not around. That's how old I am. Meth was not quite around yet when I was at that age, yeah.
Yeah, 16-year-olds do some stuff. It's like, what are you thinking?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No doubt about it. What the hell? It all works out in the end, though, doesn't it?
I'm glad you weren't kidnapped. I like you, and I'm glad you were never kidnapped.
Yeah, well, thank you for that. I don't know what those guys would have done with me. It's like, well,
I don't know.
We're buds.
But
know?
yeah, you are wily. I can't imagine you getting out of things and booking it. I think that people would probably underestimate. Well, if they knew you well, but I could detaining you would be hard. You're a wily person.
Yeah. Yep. And slender too at that time. I was
Yeah.
very tiny, so.
It's like you never can make the ropes. I remember I got a cast. I was at the VA and they gave me. I broke my wrist and they made me a cast, and they could not make it small enough. I could always slip it off.
Sure.
People underestimate when you're like a little bit on the. Like, you just spoop.
Isn't it funny how... See, now, this is a perfect example why I keep telling people you cannot judge someone whom you didn't grow up like them. You didn't... See, because, again, I have never known somebody that was, a prank kidnap like that. You could probably get away with that in Hibbing without getting killed.
Sure, yeah.
But in other areas, I'll give you an example. The one kidnapping that I knew about wasn't phony. It was my friend's Bob's mother got kidnapped.
Jesus.
I will never forget this as long as I live. Bob, if you're listening, God, it scared the piss out of me. We were in 7th grade. All of a sudden, he comes home, and his mother's been kidnapped, right? So they go through this. They track down the guys. They find the money. They find all the stuff. Guys go to prison. Several years later, the guy walks up and knocks on their door.
What?
It's like, what is wrong with you?
And wait, she was fine. now? Like
She worked out. Yeah, thank God they worked out because they literally threatened to take her out.
for money? Is that what they wanted?
Yeah, they wanted money. They own some stores and stuff like that. But it's so funny where you grow up is so different than like you and I grew up totally different, right? How can people judge somebody and go, you said that because you're this, you're that, oh my God, you're insensitive, you're racist. But no, we didn't all grow up together. I don't get some things that happen out there. They don't get some things that happen in here. We need to be a little more understanding and a little calmer about this. We are not all the same. I mean, everything's judged by skin color. All white people and all black people are the same.
Yeah.
Why don't you calm down with that, for Christ's sake?
Yeah, and quit kidnapping Rudy, everybody.
Yeah, that'd be no more kidnapping.
Please.
Yeah. If you try to go anywhere out of northern Minnesota with some lutefisk, they will lose their minds.
Oh, I bet.
They have no idea why you would eat it.
I've never had it.
Oh, you're not missing much, man.
It's like a lie.
Isn't it lie? It's lie, isn't it?
I remember we had an uncle, an aunt and uncle that always tried to make it happen on holidays. We're like, quit trying to make lutefisk happen. It's never gonna happen, Kathy.
So what do they put? What do they put on there? What kind of fish is it? Carp or something? Somebody told me.
Is it cod?
I was just gonna guess cod, but I don't know.
It might actually, because I'm trying to think. There's another. Bacala is another one that is it's potatoes and cod in oil is essentially what it is. It's wonderful if you put some garlic on it, but it was basically it's kind of like ratatouille, where it was like, well, this kind of became a dish because poor people had 10 different ingredients, didn't know what to do with them, so they threw it in a pot. It's potatoes and cod because cod was plentiful, as were potatoes, so they just threw it in a pot and went, all right, well, this is dinner tonight.
That makes sense. That makes total sense. But yeah, that's the one thing that I'm going to keep going out and doing some talks to people and all that stuff. But I am going to point that out. It's like we are not all the same just because our skin color is different or all the same. You can't judge people on their skin color, for Christ's sake, one way or the other.
Yeah,
it's just stupid. And again, other people are making money from it. So just understand they're making money off of your and my misery. So piss on them. What do you think?
Yeah, piss on their faces.
Well, I didn't know if I'd go that far. No, I think you're right.
Yeah, why not?
Right in the yapper.
Right in the mouth.
That's what you're saying?
Pee in their mouths.
Okay, if you did any of these things growing up, you're old. And you can't lie. None of the three of us can lie.
Okay, fine. I'll be honest.
Okay.
And I like being perceived as young, so this will be hard.
It's going to be very difficult for you?
Yes.
I might come in a little worse than you do. I haven't seen it yet, but that'd be my guess.
I hope so.
Well, thank you.
I just mean you're...
I am a lot older than you.
Thank you.
I'm old enough to be your father.
Yeah, you literally are.
I am.
Friends with your kids.
Yeah, that's right. You're shoulder to shoulder with Andy.
Yeah.
This is one of those lists where if you showed it to a teenager, they think you're just making stuff up. Someone came up with 40 things. Well, we're not going to do 40 of them.
Nah.
They have 10 listed here, so that's good. Hearing someone yell, "Get off the internet, I need to use the phone."
Oh, yeah.
I know that
Oh, did it
feeling.
used to take up the phone lines?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I wasn't aware.
I would be downloading illegally a bunch of songs, and my mom would be like, I need to use the phone. I'd be like, you got to let it download first. Please, Mom. It's been hours.
Could you tell me what Napster was supposed to mean?
Napster is exactly what we would use.
Yeah.
It was just the downloading of songs illegally.
Why is it called Napster?
Because Sean, the guy, is it's not Sean Avery, that was the hockey player. Sean something or another, I forget his name. He, during college, would nap a lot, and his roommate called him the Napster.
So it's called Napster.
It's called Napster.
There you go. Okay, well, that makes sense.
Sean Parker.
Parker.
Never understood why they called it Napster, but now I do. I should have known, actually. Okay, so this is one of those lists where some came up 40 things you don't even remember from your youth if you're officially old now. So here are a few good ones. Never did this. Using a pencil to rewind a cassette tape. Nope, never did it. I was not a cassette kind of guy. I had cassettes, but they were only around a very short time. 8 tracks were even worse.
Yeah.
But then digital came out and we were good to go. Hearing someone yell, "Get off the internet, you need to use the phone." I never heard that either. Cars that, and I'm assuming because you guys aren't chirping that you've never heard of that either.
I haven't heard the pen one with the cassette tape.
Yeah, but you've never done it.
No, I've never done that.
I haven't either. Get off the internet, you need to use the phone. You've heard that one?
Yes.
There you go. Cars that needed 2 different keys, one to unlock the door and a different key to start the engine. I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, I do remember
Really?
that. Yeah.
You do?
I had a 1987 Toyota Corolla.
Oh, really?
And we lost the keys, but we found the door key, but couldn't find the engine key.
Oh,
that's
God.
Yeah.
And that my 86 LeBaron probably had that, but in my defense, I don't think I ever locked it once.
I had an 86 LeBaron.
What, did yours have a sunroof? Because mine wasn't
Mine
convertible.
had, what was it called? A Landau roof.
Yeah.
Remember Landau roofs?
Everyone was like, Brittany, you're the only one who has an 86 LeBaron without the cool part.
Yeah.
I had a hard top, just normal car. It was crap. And for a while, once it got hit, I couldn't even go in through the driver's seat, so I'd have to do like a passenger seat shuffle of shame to get to my driver's seat.
God, the memories that I get from you bringing stuff like this up. The 86 LeBaron, it was my first car that I got. Because you got a company car when you work for Capitol Records.
Which is so cool and does not happen.
I might have been an 85 LeBaron. Does that make sense?
I don't know. Mine was an 86.
85, 86, whatever the hell it was. But 86s would have come out in 85, so that makes sense.
Totally.
But in any case, I did not know this, but I'm up in Robbinsdale making a call. And I come out and I get in the car. And someone had tampered with Tommy's car, which I did not know. I'm driving down West Broadway into North Minneapolis. I go back by St. Anne's School. I take a left. Both of the front wheels of my car fell off the car.
Oh, my God.
They were trying to steal my tires. I mean, not only the tires, but the wheels themselves. They had loosened all of the lug nuts on the front 2 tires.
Oh, my God. So you think they were in the middle of stealing it and then you came
Yeah,
out?
yeah, absolutely. But the weird deal is you will never know, and I'll never know again, how that felt. All of a sudden you look out and you see your tires going down the road.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Like, what the hell?
Oh, my LeBaron.
It was weird.
My LeBaron, the gas gauge broke. So I had no idea how much gas I had.
Oh, God.
So my solution was I just filled up a big jug of gas and put it in the back seat.
Oh, you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So anytime I remember I had a friend that went to St. Thomas and she had all these really bougie friends. And this is, when she was
Bougie.
in college.
Love bougie.
I remember one time she's like, Brittany, can you pick us up? I was like, sure. And one of the kids that was there goes, is this a tank of gas? And I was like, you will never relate. We will never have anything in common. Okay? Like.
That was a little dangerous there, sister.
Oh, it was terrible. And it always reeked of gas. But that was the only solution I could think of.
I love this. She's inhaling gas every time she gets in her car, but we should watch out for the ozone layer.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
And now here I am looking at organic labels and all this stuff. And for like a good year of my life, I was just sucking up fumes.
Can you imagine how you would feel or how Beverly felt? Did she ever find out you did that?
Yeah.
Okay.
If not, she knows now.
How about Go-Go comes to you and goes, oh, yeah, I got a whole tank of gas in the back seat of my car.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine how you'd feel if she told you that.
I have to compartmentalize my life quite a
do?
bit,
Okay, well,
and
good.
that is one of them because I cannot imagine her telling me that she's driving around with a tank of gas.
Exactly.
Oh, my God. Yeah, well, we had a car, the hood would fly back every once in a while.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, on the highway. We'd be doing like 60 miles an hour, and all of a sudden the hood would fly back, and it would smash the windshield, and then we'd go back, we'd pry it back, and then you'd have to, because it was basically held on with a C-clamp, and it would pop off, and then it would fly up. Yeah.
My car also, the battery would get really corroded.
Sure.
So I would always have a can of Coke in my car with a toothbrush. And so when the batteries would corrode so much it wouldn't start, I'd have to go there, take my toothbrush, put it in the Coke, and clean those off.
Yeah.
So the connections could be made. And I go, I was an idiot. I should not be alive at all.
Oh, don't call yourself an idiot.
Don't quickly defend me, Mr. Barnard. Don't jump.
She picked up on that right away. I was coming at you. There's no question about it. Okay, just a couple more. Chris
Okay.
Egert's going to join us in about 2 minutes. When everyone's favorite meal was push-up pops, where you ate ice cream out of a toilet paper roll.
And it would get all soggy.
That's true.
And you'd have to push so hard at the beginning, your whole hand would turn red.
I didn't think they were any good either. They were like real sugary.
I remember I liking the orange ones.
Oh, okay. There you go. Having a notebook where you kept track of all your friends' phone numbers. Yep, I did. I had a notebook with phone numbers in it.
I did not have that. But
Yep, I did. But that's a long time ago. I mean,
Yeah,
that
'cause-
would have been like in the late 70s probably.
That was cool, though. That would be cool to be carrying around a little. I mean, but man, could you get your stuff stolen easily then?
Remember those old brick phones, the first ones, the first cell phones? They looked like a brick.
Yeah.
My grandma's doing all right. We'll just say that. She had the first ever I saw car phone.
Yeah.
And it was, first off, this giant phone in her center console.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And never, it always was like, the sounds that would come out of it were insane. And I can't
That's
even
true.
guess how much that thing cost.
Bryce borrowed my car one time to go down to Byerly's. That's the old 917 North Lilac Drive location.
Yeah.
He had to borrow my car to go down to Byerly's for a couple seconds. Left the top down with my phone sitting on the front seat. Gets out there and somebody's stealing the phone. Bryce chased him down Highway 100, and finally the guy threw the phone out the window, and it was such a heavy brick piece of crap, it didn't bother the phone at all
Oh, my
to be
God.
thrown out the window.
That is one thing I miss. Is back in the day, cell phones, they were these big brick things.
Huge.
My Nokia, you could bludgeon a man to death and still play Snake
true.
after. Like, it would have been just fine.
That's true. Just a couple more to go here. If you wanted to watch a movie, you had to switch to Channel 3. That was before TVs had different input options. I don't remember that at all.
I remember that, but it feels like
Do you?
you still have to do that. And, like, I constantly go from different HDMIs.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels similar.
Never done this either. Accidentally burning yourself with a car cigarette lighter. Now the holes where they used to be are just plug in for chargers. Yeah, there aren't cigarette lighters in cars anymore, are there? That's true.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Finding out which movies were at your local theater by checking the newspaper, or you called Movie Phone, baby.
Phone.
Welcome to Movie Phone.
And they'd always have a trailer at the beginning. They're like,
Yes.
a girl who doesn't know her future. And you're like, I just want to know when this movie is playing.
It's true. If you weren't listening to the radio, you were listening to something from your CD holder, and it was probably attached to your son's car, your car's sun visor. What?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the CDs, they used to put them in the sun visor. There
Oh,
was
they
like
did?
it was almost like it was like you'd fold it down and there were slots
Like, yeah.
for each
Oh, I didn't know
individual
that.
CD.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
And you'd be like, Brittany and Michelle's spring break mix.
Yeah.
And like, girls just want to have
God.
fun.
Really?
And sex or like something stupid. And then another thing is, when I used to snowboard, I'd put my CD player in my inside pocket in my jacket. And then I'd fall, and it would be like the worst pain
Not
ever.
necessarily good.
And then if you did anti-skip, good luck. Batteries are done in like 2 minutes.
It all works out in the end. Have we got your boy ready to go?
Yeah, you can pop in.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the lovely and talented, what's his name again? Chris something?
Mr. Egert.
Chris Egert, that's what it is. I knew. I knew.
What's up?
Hey, you don't have a goofy name today. It's just KSTP TV.
I'm trying to be more professional, Tom.
Oh, are you? You locked in the professional attitude, did you?
Yeah.
That works for me. So how's it's kind of interesting. Because I watch you now. What you're on at 5:30? Is that the first time you're on?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I watch you from 5:30 to 6 o'clock every morning now. So I'm sick to death of you by the time I get here. But no, but it's kind of nice to do that, to get up and watch you and see what's happening and all the rest of it. And so I want to ask you a couple of things. This is, in a way, I suppose it's serious, but they keep telling us, the Democrats and Republicans keep telling us that we got until June 1st to get this thing straightened out, or it's going to be a complete disaster. Well, now last night they were saying that's not true at all. We made that up. Now, is it made up or isn't it? Who's telling the truth here?
Well, that if I knew that, I wouldn't be sitting here.
Well,
doing
that's
this.
true. He'd be a billionaire.
But
That's true.
I mean, you definitely feel like there's a little bit of a artificial deadline
Yeah.
being put on it, but I also know that you got Wall Street and you've got a lot of like very vested parties in it that seem to be quite nervous about this.
Right.
The date. So I don't know. I don't know where. I still just kind of feel like it's a big game of chicken right now. Who's gonna bluff? Who's gonna get their chest puffed up the highest? Which one's gonna veer off the road first? And so I don't know. I guess we'll see where it goes. But last thing I heard is that they were like not necessarily close to something, but they were at least still
Right.
talking, which
Right.
is kind of what you want, but
I never thought I'd see the day, though, when what state was it? I think it might have been the state of Minnesota, actually, bragging about it was the state of Minnesota, bragging about the fact, hey, we've raised another $90 billion. You mean you've raised the money, or you're going to tax the piss out of me to pay for that? I just don't, they're so excited to take money from one group of people and give it to another because they're buying votes with it. That's what they're doing.
Well, I mean, the reality is you can't give paid sick time to everybody and not have that money come from somewhere.
Yeah, well, that's right.
It's real money. It may not feel like it when you're at the legislature but when you're looking at your paycheck, and the flip side to that, there's also the free college thing. Like, that's not free.
It's not free.
Like, somebody's paying for it. Now, you can debate whether or not, as a society, those of us who should be helping the people who, the have-nots. But the reality is, I think people always need to remember, like, it's real money.
Well, we have to remember, too.
It doesn't just come out of nowhere.
The most expensive college in America, I know, the last I heard, maybe it's higher than that now, was $77,000 a year. $77,000 a year. You start handing out money hand over fist like this, these colleges are going to raise that to 150 G's a year. I guarantee it.
That's another thing. That's like, it's not like the college is, it's going to be free college then. Well,
nope.
I mean, it's just, the tuition is out of control as it is, which is something I have to be very plugged into right now with the kid who's going to be starting college in the fall. Yeah, that's crazy.
Tell her to get off her ass and start playing sports. Get a scholarship, damn it. What do you think?
Yes.
Oh, you know what? I just thought of something. You just reminded me of something. My kids are now 36 and 34 years old, right?
Yeah.
When my kids were at St. Thomas and St. Kate's, I automatically transferred money into my wife's checking account so she could pay their tuition. I've still been doing that for 18 years, and they haven't been in college in 18 years. How much dough is she collect? Jesus, Palomino. I just realized I've been duped roundly or soundly.
Or else you're still paying for that tuition because
no, that was paid off long ago.
Okay, well, my guy's starting at St. Thomas in the fall, and it ain't cheap. I'll tell you that right now.
Congratulations!
You'll love it. You spend any time in that area because not that far from KSTP anyway.
Yeah. I have, and then of course,
love it.
Through the football thing, we've been over there a lot over the course of the last year. So I mean, it's super nice. I mean, it's as good of a, it's great of a place as you'd hope to be able to send your kid. So.
Except you can't stop at O'Gara's and get hammered before you go over there. Damn it. Didn't they close O'Gara's?
Yes, right?
Yeah, Snelling and what the hell was that on?
Yeah.
Snelling and something. Just south of 94.
Well, now there's that.
Loved O'Gara's. Danny O'Gara, where the hell are you?
What is the name of that? They have the bakery and you can.
Oh, they do? There's a bakery in there now?
Yeah. Oh my God, what is?
I have no idea.
It's like Sun or something.
Well, you want to look that up while we go to break?
Yeah.
That's probably a good idea. I think you're right on the money, brother. What do you think of that? Do you think he's right on the money, brother?
Mm-hmm.
Always on the.
It all works out. Okay, so this one.
Yum is the name of the place they put there. Yum.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Yum is okay. We'll be right back right after this. More with KSTP's Chris Egert.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Listen live at tombernardshow.com or on the Tom Barnard Show app.
Hi, this is Tom Barnard. If you've been listening, you know I'm a fan of Nissan vehicles. I own an Altima. My son and daughter-in-law both own Nissans, and we bought them all at Walser Nissan stores here in the Metro. They hang their hats in Burnsville, Wayzata, and Coon Rapids. So why is Walser different than other Nissan stores? And why should you absolutely go there this month? Tell them I personally sent you to lease or buy your next vehicle. First, there's Walser Care, a complimentary powertrain warranty that will keep you covered for miles to come for free at Walser Nissan. This month, you can score 0% financing for up to 60 months on select Nissans, or you can lease the 2023 Nissan Pathfinder S for only $269 a month. You'll need to tell them you want the Tommy B deal, of course. That's understood. So, not just Nissan, but Walser Nissan, Burnsville, Wayzata, and Coon Rapids. Don't forget to let them know the Tom Barnard family sent you and ask for the Tommy B deal. Go to walser.com and select the Walser Nissan store nearest you.
$269 per month for 24 months. 10,000 miles per year. $5,900 due at signing. VIN PC 261725.
This is Bob Sansevier, and I want to tell you about Dave Bialke from Bialke Law. Dave represented my wife, Mary, when she had a significant workplace injury. She was very happy with the job Dave did. If you have a work-related injury and have Dave represent you, I'm betting you'll be happy too. Dave is a down-to-earth guy. He grew up in northern Minnesota, rides a Harley, and worked various jobs doing concrete, electrical, plumbing, roofing, and carpentry work. Dave works for people with work-related injuries. If you work construction, or anywhere for that matter, and you're hurt or even just hurting, you should talk to Dave. Let's face it, our bodies wear out. If your body is worn out from work, if your knees or back or shoulders hurt from things you do at work, do what Mary did. Call Dave and talk to him about it at Bialke Law to set up a free initial consultation. The number to call is 763-571-2410. That's 763-571-2410. Or visit bialkelaw.com. That's BIALKE law.com.
It's time for Power Lodge and Miller Marine, a marriage of throttle therapy between fun on the land and fun on the water. Pick your power and head to the lodge. Power Lodge, of course. Their locations are in Brainerd, Onamia, Ramsey, and Miller Marine in St. Cloud. You can find the boat or pontoon that's just right for you and your next Remember When family moment. Bennington, Smokercraft, Starcraft, Power Lodge, and Miller Marine has the brands you can trust to deliver fun, of course. Stop into Miller Marine or any Power Lodge location. Check the huge inventory of new Bennington pontoons with more than 300 new Benningtons to choose from. Huge savings on remaining new 2022 boats and pontoons in stock, of course, at Miller Marine in St. Cloud and every Power Lodge location. Miller Marine and Power Lodge locations are open through this Saturday, closed on Sunday and Memorial Day, of course. So come in by Saturday to pick your pontoon, hook it up, and drive it home for on-the-water fun before the holiday weekend is over. Head to powerlodge.com or millermarine.com because it all starts at the lodge. Power Lodge. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Egert with us from Channel 5 Eyewitness News. Big article about your buddy, Ginny Morris, in the paper this morning.
Oh, I haven't seen the paper yet.
Yeah.
In the Strib?
Yeah, they did a big article about her in the Strib this morning. They called her, what, superpower CEO? What was she called?
Just
Big Shot. That's what I think it was, Big Shot.
I'll send you the article.
It's a good article, actually. I mean, they lie constantly. They say she's a really nice person, which, we know it's not true, but yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, she's great.
You know what's so weird about that? And I brought this up. There's an article about this powerful CEO, media CEO, and I've known her since she was 8 years old. So I always picture the 8-year-old Ginny whenever they do stories like that. It's like, what? But she's done rather well, so that's a good thing, right?
Yeah, she's awesome, man. I run into her quite a bit, and
that's good.
Always super friendly and wants to visit. And
Yep.
Sometimes people of that status in a company don't always take the time to chat with you, so it's nice.
You mean like most radio pricks?
Well,
he just double pumps on me. I like that. He just goes, yeah, whatever.
No, trust me. I don't have a lot of conversations with people like that, so it's always very refreshing.
No, it is. I agree.
She always checks in, and
no, she's terrific. Always has been a very nice person.
I mean, my basic goal in life is to stay out of the manager's office no matter what. Like, I'm doing my job correctly if we don't have to have any. That's nothing. It's not a knock on them. It's just I'm hoping they have other things to worry about. So.
Okay, this coincidence just happened, or maybe it's not a coincidence, but I thought it was kind of weird. I ran down the hall quickly and came back. And I'm walking through the hall, and I look down, and there's, the capsule they put over the corks on wine bottles, the little kind of aluminum or what? I didn't even know what the hell that material is. It's kind of a metal, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Foil stuff?
Kind of some kind of foil or whatever, but
yeah.
There's no wine bottle. It's just that capsule. It fits over the bottle and the cork, so when you take it off and then take the cork out, right?
Yeah.
There's one of those capsules laying out in the middle of the hallway out there. It's this wine bottle capsule, right? Do you realize, I just looked down at my screen, it's National Wine Day.
Oh.
So somebody got at her a little early, apparently. Seriously, that's not a coincidence that a wine capsule would be out there on Wine Day.
There you go.
Somebody's boozing it up at 7. Well, it's 8:30. Let's go.
Time.
It's a late start, huh?
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Rudy, what time do you usually start?
Well, the coffee gets put away at 11:30, and then first drink's usually around 12. So.
And then do you sleep the rest of the night? Thank you very much. Great.
Yeah.
Ew.
I know. I've been trying so hard to cut back. I hate it.
You drink every night?
Yeah. Well, no. Okay. I guess. Yeah. But not like get plastered every night. Like, a beer or something just to kind of like.
Well, that's not.
I'm just surprised
chill,
by
but-
you because you're kind of a calorie guy. So I feel like if you're not getting wasted, that would bug you a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. Plus, like I've been on the road and then doing shows. Like you tend to just drink way more. You fall off the wagon a little bit. But like this week, I'm like, all right, we're back on it because I jumped on that scale and I was like, it was like that is not a number that I usually see. So
the scale. Did you do a body fat analysis?
No, I hate those. I hate when
know.
people are like, I had my BMI and it was up 3.5. I was like,
know.
what? Who cares? If your T-shirt doesn't fit, cut back on the cheesecake. That's the easiest dictator. You
That's
should probably
it.
lose a pound or two.
That is it. So any big news this morning in the news?
Yeah, well, it's George Floyd murder was 3 years ago on this date, which there's going to be some things that are going on there with that.
It was 3 years ago already.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's and there are events that are going to be happening at the site there where it all happened. And there's been a lot of like articles that have been written the last couple days of, was it this big historic movement that people thought it was going to be at the time? All the bad things that came from it, all of the positive things that might have come from it. And I think it remains to be seen what kind of impact that'll have on history really. It seems like I can't believe it's been 3 years already. So that was a big thing that we were talking about today.
I can see that. It makes me kind of sad though, because when I was going to Brown Institute back as a teenager, I was all up and down Lake Street, man. I just loved running up and down Lake Street, all the great, bars they had down there. And yes, it was 21 to drink, but I looked older than I was, so shut up. You know what I mean? But no, there's one part of that still bothers me is when I'm driving along Lake Street and all of those buildings are still just destroyed 3 years later. That's really too bad.
They're trying to figure out what to do with the police precinct that was destroyed there.
Yep.
I mean, there was a brand new apartment complex, huge housing complex that was burned down. I mean, and all the other things along there. I mean, it is, and it's also pretty crazy to me too to think that a lot of that hasn't really been rebuilt. And it looks about like it did, that summer. So yeah, it's I don't know. One thing I've been noticing a lot too is how different news organizations are referring to the unrest that happened after, and choosing words like unrest versus rioting. And some of that gets into some, I don't know, was it rioting that happened? It
was rioting. I'm sorry.
Was it demonstrations? I don't feel like you should really go back and rewrite that into something it wasn't when buildings were destroyed and burned down and windows are smashed and people lose their livelihoods. I mean, that feels like a riot to me, riots to me, but I don't know. I just noticed that a lot in the writing in different news organizations, like how they're choosing their words.
Everybody's such a candy ass now. It's unbelievable. Just treat people as the best you can instead of trying to destroy them. That would be really good. I will never understand why Chauvin did what he did. I to this day, is it because George Floyd was so much bigger than he? Was it a race thing? I guess I don't know that guy, Chauvin. So I don't know if he's a racist or what the hell. I still don't to this day understand all of that over $20. Really?
Yeah, it's and obviously like hindsight's 20/20, right? Like, had there not been somebody there with a cell phone,
right,
and getting video of it, would anybody even know about it? Did Chauvin purposefully stay on his neck at that point because he knew there was somebody on a cell phone
maybe
shooting video of him because he just wanted to assert his dominance over the situation?
Probably.
I mean, there's just so many different factors at play there as to how it went the way it went. It just, yeah, it's I remember the first time I saw the video, and it was just like, I mean, it was jaw dropping. And then obviously it blew up into everything it did, but we had seen the video that night, a little inside baseball, and we didn't quite know what to do with it, because it was between the night, you know, it had happened the night before, but nobody really knew about it. So it didn't make any news on that night before. But then all the news organizations were getting access to the video as it was coming out in the morning. And all we had to go off of was what the police told us at that point. And most of what they put out was, I mean, you go back and look at it, it wasn't even close to being accurate, or it was a very, very, very watered down version of what happened. So I know we were just trying to figure out that morning what we should do with the video. Should we show the video? Yep. What are we even explaining what happened here? Because a lot of people didn't even really quite know. So.
No, I will never understand. And look, the one thing I guess I'm not going to say I feel sorry for them, but they were put in a very uncomfortable position. The other 3 cops that stood by and watched it, I wonder if they're thinking, well, if I do something, if I intervene, am I going to get fired? Am I going to lose my job? I mean, I'm assuming they never thought that Chauvin was going to kill the guy. I mean, you think they would ever assume that he was going to kill George Floyd? I wouldn't think so.
I mean, that's what I mean. Like all these different things that happened and like how it all played out, the way it went. It was, I know we did have a story this morning that I thought was pretty remarkable from you hear on the news, they're like, it's a medical miracle. And a lot of times it's maybe not that much of a miracle, but there's this guy overseas who was in a motorcycle crash in 2011 and he's paralyzed from the waist down. They actually hooked some diodes up to his brain inside his body, circumvented his spinal cord, ran them down to the other nerve endings on the other side of where the injury was in the spinal cord. And the guy can brain control walk.
That's amazing.
Wow.
And walk upstairs. And I mean, they're using artificial intelligence and, I mean, that's movie stuff, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It doesn't even seem like that's real. And then you think about the possibilities about that, I mean, are we really that far off from being able to build someone or to be able to keep them alive?
Maybe.
I mean, think about it.
Yeah, this is, if you guys want to hear a little audio, this is the doctor who did the surgeries to be able to let this guy walk. It is really a fascinating video.
We do 2 different surgeries. There is one surgery at the level of the brain and another surgery at the level of the spinal cord, where we put electrodes on the top of the spinal cord at the place that is responsible for leg movement. So between these 2, there is communication, an electrical communication, a digital bridge. In a few sessions, everything is linked and the patient starts training.
And the crazy part is that guy said that after the surgery, in 2 days, he already had control of his hips and starting to move his feet.
That's amazing.
2 days.
That's so crazy.
Wow.
Pretty damn cool. But all I'm doing, what was the name of that great, it started in, I think, Harvard. It was a newspaper that used to come, it still does come out.
The Lampoon?
Yeah, not the Harvard Lampoon, but there's another one. But it was like the Harvard Lampoon, so we'll go with the Harvard Lampoon. I can't remember the name of this publication, but it was very funny what you just said. The man was paralyzed from the waist down, and then they got to move on it. They actually had a headline, after a serious accident, man paralyzed from the waist up. So your legs work, but nothing else. It's like, really? Yeah, that would go. Can you imagine walking down the street and you're just flopping all over the place? Yeah. Damn it. Maybe it was the Harvard Lampoon. Maybe it wasn't.
I've been that drunk.
Oh, I understand. Back in the day, ladies. What are you looking at?
You look like one of those car
Wacky
dealership
inflatable arm guys.
Yeah.
Oh, that deal, yeah. Remember that one they had on television? I don't think it was on America's Funniest Home Videos, a different one, where it looked like the thing was bent over, humping the other one.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Get a room.
Get a room, for Christ's sake. So, look, I mean, we're not paralyzed. We're not dead. There's a lot of good things are happening today. What do you think?
There's another big kerfuffle up there, speaking of the St. Thomas area, that got passed by the St. Paul City Council last night. They're going to build like an elevated specific bike trail right along.
Elevated?
Yeah, well, not elevated, like up in the, it's going to be like its own like grade separated from the road. Does that make sense? So
Just a little higher or something?
yeah. And that's been like a huge thing that's been debated. It's on Summit Avenue, right? Like right along some of the nicest houses in the city. And they're going to build a 4.5 mile bike path through there, which a lot of people were pretty upset about.
There are a lot of bike paths there already.
Well, I think that's one of the arguments, right? Like
weird.
Yeah, and people were really hot about that. The meeting went on like late into the night last night, but they decided to pass it. So the argument is that the people who live along there don't want all those big trees taken out. And whatnot.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, if I owned a house on there, which I obviously never will, but if I was able to live along that, I guess I sort of can get that argument, right?
Oh, no, there's no question about that. Look, my daughter runs, I don't know if it's a 10K or what the hell ever. It's not a marathon, but it's a 10K or some deal. She runs that every year down Summit Avenue. So I suppose while they're working on that, they won't be doing that anymore. And when it's a bike path, will they even be able to do that anymore? You know what I mean?
I'm trying to think when they're gonna. It's actually not gonna start for quite a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the construction's not gonna start until 5 years from now. So
really,
yeah, it's weird that they had to decide on it. What are they? This sounds like they're on the same timeline as the light rail.
Yeah, exactly. That's doing really well, isn't it?
Eden Prairieite, don't even get us started on that light rail.
Every time I drive to Costco, I'm like, oh, look, there's a bridge for the light rail.
That goes to nowhere.
I remember thinking when that thing was passed, like, oh, yeah, it'll be cool. We'll be able to hop on the light rail for Vikings games and blah, 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 blah. Like, little did I know, like both my kids will be gone out of the house. I'll be like practically in the nursing home by the time if and when the light rail gets done.
Let me tell you the most annoying thing about all that. So they actually did that pretty dang quick. They built that. I mean, I would drive home and I go, wow, they got a lot done. They were pretty quick with all of that. And then all of a sudden, it just stopped.
Funding.
Yeah.
And there was this thing where it wasn't even not necessarily funding, Tom. There was some thing where they didn't plan out the connection where there whatever, and they said, all right, we're going to have to wait on this. And it's beautiful looking. I mean, you've seen it, Chris. It's actually really nice looking. It's not an eyesore at all. And now they're like, oh, sorry, we didn't look into that other little, there's some law or connection about what happened with where it's going to connect. And they're like, well, hopefully 2025. And there's no other reason. It's ready to go.
That's ridiculous. Why? So somebody just didn't do their job.
Somebody didn't do their job.
Oh, God,
and
what
for
a
once,
shock.
it wasn't me.
It's always
that
you.
thing's had all. Oh, go ahead, Tom.
No, it's always Brittany. That's all I'm saying. Every time there's a problem, it's Brittany.
I do go to that area a lot.
Hashtag blame Brittany. Let's get it trending.
Thank you.
Go. I love it.
I'm coming back at you, Brittany.
No, I thought we were at a truce.
I mean, that whole thing, there was the Kenilworth corridor right there through Minneapolis that was causing all the, and there was condos that were along there that were like, they were claiming that the building of the light rail was like shaking the condo buildings apart. I mean, it's just like every single thing that seems to have been able to gone wrong with that, it has gone wrong. So I don't know.
It's been almost.
But they can't not. What's that, Brittany?
It's been a decade since they started it.
10 years. 10 years.
That's what I mean.
And it's nowhere near done. Not even close.
They're saying
2027. They can't not build it now, right?
Yeah.
You can't just leave that stuff there.
No. And it's not going to be 2027. It's going to be about 2030.
Stop.
They're going to tell you about half the time it's really going to take. It's just 10 years and you're still not done.
I can't wait till Gogo's married and she can finally go on that light rail.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I can't wait to push my rascal motorized scooter onto the light rail when I'm traveling to the city.
Tell you what, though, living in New York and Chicago, it was wonderful to be able to take the L in Chicago, the subway in New York. God, that was great. Not
well,
anymore,
and that's
though.
the difference. Like, they built the cities around those. They didn't try to
Yes,
build,
right.
you know, they didn't try to build the public transit around the city. It was the other way around.
Yeah.
And I mean, they definitely had it figured out right. But
Yeah, I used to take the car. I used to land at either, well, actually, is pretty much when you had to land at O'Hare, and then you just hop a train and ride it into town. It was wonderful to be able to do that. Really, really nice. I love Chicago anyway. Now, apparently, it's so damn dangerous downtown, you don't want to be there anymore.
I haven't
really
been
upsets
for
me.
probably 5 or 6 years, but yeah, you don't usually haven't been hearing a lot of great things coming out of Chicago lately. That's for sure.
All right, Hun Yuck, we'll talk to you tomorrow, correct?
All right. It'll be a Friday episode tomorrow.
Friday.
What's wrong with you? You went out of your way. It's not even Friday yet, and you're saying it.
He's mentally ill.
Look, I've got the Friday feeling. Can't you tell?
Hey, I want to show you something. Can you, let's see, where's the camera? Can you read what that says?
Yeah, I don't know if you can.
Sunday, Saturday. Yeah, I can see the forecast.
Oh, can you see what it says under the forecast?
It says, you suck.
You suck. She writes, you suck on my
But
forecast.
I signed it, so at least it wasn't like a drive-by, like I wasn't, you know.
You suck, Tom.
I signed it
That's what I get.
with my signature, so you can have that.
All right, we got to go
I
to
get that
break
written on
here.
all my checks from work.
Thank you. All right, we'll talk to you tomorrow, pal.
Bye.
Thanks very much. Go to break right now. Got some great guests coming up in just a couple of minutes. It's time for Power Lodge and Miller Marine, a marriage of throttle therapy. Between fun on the land and fun on the water, pick your power and head to the lodge. Of course, Power Lodge. Their locations are in Brainerd, Onamia, Ramsey, and Miller Marine in St. Cloud. Oh, and now through Memorial Day, it's on Saturday, May 27th, just 3 days away, 2 days away. Damn, really?
Dang.
You can find the boat or pontoon that's just right for you and your next Remember When family moment. Bennington, Smokercraft, Starcraft, Power Lodge, and Miller Marine has the brands you can trust to deliver fun, of course. Stop into Miller Marine or any Power Lodge location. Check the huge inventory of new Bennington pontoons with more than 300 new Benningtons to choose from. When are we going over there?
I'm down whenever.
Let's
I'm
go.
The most available.
Okay. Huge savings on remaining new 2022 boats and pontoons in stock at Miller Marine in St. Cloud and every Power Lodge location. Miller Marine and Power Lodge locations are open through this Saturday and closed on Sunday and Memorial Day Monday. So come on in by Saturday, pick your pontoon, hook it up, and drive it home for on the water before the holiday weekend is over. What do you think of that?
I'm in.
Head to powerlodge.com or millermarine.com because it all starts at the lodge. Power Lodge. Hi, this is Tom Barnard. If you've been listening, you know I'm a fan of Nissan vehicles. I own an Altima. My son and daughter-in-law both own Nissans, and we bought them all at Walser Nissan stores here in the Metro. They hang their hats in Burnsville, Wayzata, and Coon Rapids. So why is Walser different than other Nissan stores? And why should you absolutely go there this month? Tell them I personally sent you to lease or buy your next vehicle. First, there's Walser Care, a complimentary powertrain warranty that will keep you covered for miles to come for free at Walser Nissan. This month, you can score 0% financing for up to 60 months on select Nissans, or you can lease the 2023 Nissan Pathfinder S for only $269 a month. You'll need to tell them you want the Tommy B deal, of course. That's understood. So, not just Nissan, but Walser Nissan, Burnsville, Wayzata, and Coon Rapids. Don't forget to let them know the Tom Barnard family sent you and ask for the Tommy B deal. Go to walser.com and select the Walser Nissan store nearest you.
$269 per month for 24 months, 10,000 miles per year, $5,900 due at signing, VIN PC 261725.
You know, I've always said you can't count on 2 nice weekends in a row until mid-June in Minnesota. Well, once again, I'm right. What better time to lose weight like I'm doing with mnfatloss.com. The program has been great for me. I've lost 20 pounds, and I've been on the program for exactly 1 month today. I'm not feeling hungry. I am feeling a lot healthier, and I've got plenty of energy. You know me. I'm not going to count points or eat prepackaged meals. Certainly no hypnosis is going to happen. I wouldn't follow a fat loss program that isn't safe. You got to be around to do this podcast because my name's on the show. You know what I'm saying? I'm proving that you can lose 20 to 30 pounds in just a couple of months. Do yourself a favor and check out the program at mnfatloss.com. Of course, results may vary, but I'm losing weight, and I do feel great. If you want to find out the secret to losing 20 to 30 pounds in just 8 weeks, like I'm doing, that's about a pound of fat every day, by the way. No exercise required. Schedule your free consultation. Go to mnfatloss.com. That's mnfatloss.com. Be sure to tell them that Tom Barnard sent you. We are good to go. Sounds good to me. Nick Wehry and Miki Sudo. Nick and Miki, how you doing? Hello, who is it? How you guys doing? Everything good?
Great. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, promoting Nathan's famous 4th of July International Hot Dog Eating Contest, number 4 ranked competitive eater in the world, Nick Wehry, just qualified for the Nathan's famous 4th of July International Hot Dog Eating Contest by eating 44 hot dogs in 10 minutes. Nick's fiance, Miki Sudo, is a number 1 ranked female competitive eater and 8-time Nathan's famous hot dog eating champ. Okay, so when do you guys know when you're going to be getting married? Do you have any idea?
What do you think, babe?
We haven't set a date yet. We're kind of working through exactly how we want to do it. You know, whether maybe it's on a cruise, maybe it's in a specific venue. You know, see who we want to invite, going through that whole process. But we know what's going to happen. We're just trying to figure out if we want to do it, quick and quiet, or big old hoopla, kind of like I did the proposal.
Okay, well, here's the problem. If you do the big old hoopla deal, you're both going to have to out-eat each other at the groom's dinner or the bride's dinner. It's going to cause huge problems, Nick and Miki. I'm just telling you. It's going to be nothing but a problem.
Well, I feel like a little bit of a competitive eating flair twist, but I don't know. It might be a little normal, a little true. I don't think we're walking down the aisle as like, ketchup and mustard or whatever it is, hot dog and bun.
It's got to piss people off to no end, and I'm very happy for both of you. It's great. You got the relationship going and the rest of it. But Miki looks like she weighs about 105 pounds, and Nick looks like he's a power lifter. So you can eat whatever you want. You're just pissing everybody off. Do you know that?
We definitely get some comments based on the opinion. We're active 7 days a week. I'm an ex-bodybuilder, and I still train 5 to 7 days a week. Miki's in the gym, doing her cardio. We're super active chasing our son around constantly. And we balance the diet 9 out of 10 days. 1 out of 10 days is caloric anarchy at a contest or a practice, but I would say 9 out of 10 days our diet's, egg whites, boneless, skinless chicken, avocado, kale, something most people would consider incredibly boring and tedious. So with our job hazard of caloric insanity, we also have the job balance of, making sure we try to stay healthy and lean.
So that is a good... Now, did you guys meet at an eating competition?
Yeah, actually, I've been doing this for over a decade now, and Nick's in his 4th year or something. We had overlapped in competing, but because Nick lived on the East Coast and I was on the West Coast, we really didn't cross paths, but we knew of each other. It really wasn't until we met for the first time at the gym on the morning of the Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Eating Contest in 2018, and I said hi, but it really wasn't until later we were basically forced onto a first date. And then I realized, there's lots of this person. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, no question about it. Nick, is it nice to be able to walk down the street with Miki, and if somebody, tries to stir the pot, because you're a very muscular guy, and I've been away from it for a while now, but I was a big power lifter myself back in the day. But walking along, isn't it nice to know that if anybody bothers you, you can just sick Miki on them and she can kick their ass for them? You like that?
Oh, totally. Yeah, 100%. They might be physically, mildly intimidated. But I think I'm going to be the nasty one. Oh no, I'm a piece of cake. I'm a chihuahua compared to her. Like, I might look like a big mean Rottweiler, but I'm a big mean Rottweiler that's just super friendly. She's the one, if we're in a business meeting or if anything's going down, she's really the one you got to fear.
I think that's wonderful. Miki, you agree with that?
Even going into eating contests, I like to have a smile on my face, but, a plan in my head, and then maybe like a little bit of, I don't know, just some sort of motivation in my heart, but I like to disarm people, I guess.
No, that makes total sense. Now, first of all, when did you both get the desire to do this? How long did it take you to realize I'm actually really good at this? Because you wouldn't know, I wouldn't think, going in that you'd... Miki, I'm looking at your picture right now. For you to eat 49 Nathan's Famous hot dogs in 10 minutes does not look like something you could do, because you're very slim, 125 pounds. How did you find out you could even do this, both of you?
I think, we both say that competitive eating chose us or found us.
Oh,
okay. So it's really, right place at the right time or the wrong place at the wrong time, however you want to look at it. I did a man versus food type challenge basically because the jackpot was very tempting. I think I could do that. Here we are, 10 years later, I have a career out of this, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it was really different because now with the growth and popularity of competitive eating, we have people come up to us and say, I want to be just like you. I want to do what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Neither of us were like that. When we started, it was more like you fall into this, you find out you're kind of good at it, you enjoy it, you keep going. So that's kind of my take on it.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Are you kind of surprised because, and I'm one of them, I'll be totally honest with you, I am fascinated watching eating contests. Did you guys, how long have they known this would be such a sport? Well, and it is a sport, let's be honest, that would attract so many people. So many people love competitive eating contests. Did you see that coming?
I think I think people can relate to it.
Yeah.
And because everyone's eating a donut or a hot dog or a piece of pizza or what have you. So I think people like seeing extremes, so to speak, whether that be, someone who's 7 feet that could dunk a basketball or someone that could run a 40-yard dash.
Yeah, it makes total sense. By the way, next time we have you on, I'm going to send Brittany out and buy a bag of pistachios because you guys got 8 minutes. And I'm going to try to eat 188 pistachios in 8 minutes like you did, Nick. What do you think?
Dang, that's impressive.
Oh, did we lose them?
We may have, yeah.
Yeah, I think we did lose them.
We did.
Yeah, they had to go.
Maybe, yep. All right.
That's right. Nick Wehry and Miki Sudo, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very nice people, actually. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Magnificent. Is Quinton Rampage Jackson ready to go?
Quinton will be up in just a moment.
Okay, so he'll be a little one of. So Nick and Miki had to go, unfortunately, but they were very pleasant, I thought.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I didn't even get my line in to eat 188 pistachios in 8 minutes, Mike. The hell's that?
Sometimes there's a glitch.
They're opened, right?
I would hope so.
You can bet on these contests.
You can really?
Yeah, I've seen lines on it.
Was it Joey Chestnut? Wasn't he the big one that
yeah.
brought it to fame?
Even money all the time. Yep.
Oh, was he really?
Oh, yeah.
Why are people so good at this, Mike? I don't get it.
I think that it takes a certain amount of, I would call it the anti-revulsion instinct.
Yeah? That I would have to believe you're right.
Because your brain is telling you, don't do this.
Yep. Yeah. No, I think you're absolutely right about that. I think that you literally have to, do you have to train your brain to stop telling you that?
Could just be in the DNA.
I suppose it could be. I've known some big eaters in my life, but I don't know anybody who's ever eaten that volume of food ever.
So then, but I think there's a rule that you can't flip. So in other words, if you can go home and flip, but
what is flipping?
Yeah.
Well, flipping is I get that from the jockeys. Jockeys flip after they eat.
So they vomit
to make the weight. Yeah.
So they vomit.
Yeah.
Okay, I know what flipping is.
So you can't win an eating contest if you vomit. Within a certain time period.
You know what I'm going to do the next time I go to a movie in a movie theater? I'm going to stand up and go, I have to flip! And just see if anyone
responds. This man is going to flip!
I'm flipping, man!
Oh, that's so gross to me. I don't know what it is. And it's like the cute way of saying vomit up your food.
Well, it's just jockey jargon. I get it from the track.
Ugh.
It used to be very common at the track. Jockeys did it all the time.
Oh, I suppose, yes. But
then I think jockeys became aware of the fact that they might die of kidney failure if they kept
doing it will kill you.
Oh, yeah.
It will. You keep vomiting, it will kill you.
Yeah.
There's no question about that. So I don't understand how they ever got talked into doing that in the first place.
A lot of people who are desperate.
Now, you think that's what it is? They're desperate for the do-re-mi?
Well, yeah. And, the thing is, if you're 5 feet, maybe 2 inches tall, and and you maybe you left school at 6th grade so that you could ride horses. You don't have a lot of opportunities to do upper things. You're never going to be the CEO of a corporation if you're 5'2".
No, they don't. No 5'2".
No, there's a lot of prejudice there.
Yeah, there's a book.
Really?
Malcolm Gladwell has a stat in one of his books. I believe there's never been a CEO of a Fortune 500 company that's been under 5'8". I believe is what it is. Yeah,
really?
That's honest to God. Yep.
in America.
Yeah.
We had some presidents who were about that size, but that was a long time ago. Now a president can't, nobody's, that's the thing. There'll never be a Jew and there'll never be a guy under 5'10".
You mean there'll never be a Jew?
There'll never be a Jewish president.
You're crazy. Where do you come up with this stuff?
Yeah, there's a thing trending right now that's just not favorable.
What's wrong with President Mottel?
I'm all for it.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You ready to go?
Yep.
Well, I want to get back to this, Mike. I really do, because, Catholics are being attacked like a sumbitch right now, too,
Sure.
I guess. I don't. What's that all about? Now, Jews and Catholics are bad people, huh?
Well, not if they're married to each other.
That changes everything, does it? Ladies and gentlemen, I've been going on a rampage myself, but Quinton Rampage Jackson, how you doing, sir?
I'm fine. How you doing?
I'm doing extremely well. Action thriller Mojave Diamonds, available on demand, digital and DVD on May 30th, just 5 days from now on Lionsgate. So, Quinton, how have you been doing? Everything good?
Everything's great. How's everything going for you?
Never better. We just we go along having a magnificent time. I mean, I'm not going to star in an action thriller Mojave Diamonds, so I want to hear all about this, Quinton.
What you want to hear is a great film.
Yeah, that's all I want to hear is what the film's all about, how you got involved in it. This is something we can look forward to. How many appearances? You're going to do a lot of movies now.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of movies here and there over the years.
Right.
Mojave Diamonds was it was a great film. The dude that got me and Cowboy Ronnie and Chael Sonnen and two other MMA fighters in there, and I got to work with Nicolas Cage, son Wes Popa. It was it was a good film. They had me. I don't want to give out too much, but they had me as a bad dude. And, I don't get a chance to play too many bad guys in movies, so that's pretty fun.
Well, I got to be honest with you, Quinton. With the tone of your voice and looking at your picture right now, I think they go together rather well, because if I pick up my phone and go, "Hello, yeah, Tom, it's Quinton," I'd go, "What do you need, Quinton?" You know what I'm saying? He just starts laughing.
Yeah,
Quinton, you know exactly what I'm talking about, don't you? I think that's terrific. So did you, now where did you grow up, first of all?
I'm from Memphis, Tennessee.
Oh, you're from Memphis, Tennessee. Okay. Did you always know you wanted to become what you are? You wanted to become Rampage Jackson? How early in life did it strike you that this is what I want to do?
Well, I grew up a big pro wrestling fan.
Right.
I thought I was going to be a pro wrestler. Yeah.
And did you ever do that? Did you? And as far as that's concerned, it worked out.
I went to MMA first. I started wrestling in high school because I thought it was pro wrestling, and then it took me down a path of MMA.
And that was how many years ago? Do you remember, Quinton?
I started wrestling when I was 17.
Okay, and then MMA at what age?
21.
Yeah, the reason I ask you that, because so many young men that I know now are getting into, they learn wrestling moves and all the rest of it. But MMA has become a huge sport. And it's kind of, Quinton, do you agree that it's kind of taken boxing right out of the picture?
Well, it did take boxing out of the picture for a while, but I feel like boxing is kind of making like a comeback slowly.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it just. Although I got to be honest with you, Quinton, the last fight I watched was a guy named Mike Tyson fighting another guy who lasted 46 seconds. And I think Mike Tyson might have had a lot to do with boxing going away for a while, because nobody could come near beating him, for God's sake.
There's a lot of guys who wish they could last 46 seconds.
Exactly.
Hey, 46 seconds is a long time, guys.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
Yeah, that's exactly.
It could seem an eternity.
Oh, it would seem like an eternity if Mike Tyson was coming after you. There's no doubt about that. One time I interviewed Mike Tyson many years ago on a show I used to do, Quinton, and he was very, very pleasant, all the rest of it. But I joked around with him a little bit, and it's interesting. Joking around with Mike Tyson, you get this. So, like, you would say something to me, and I'd be Mike Tyson. You go, yeah, well, then blah, 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 blah. There'd be a long pause, and then he'd go, yeah, that's funny, man.
You know you're in trouble when the snake on his face turns red.
Yeah, exactly. When the snake starts moving, you got some problems. So Mojave Diamonds is going to be, it's available on demand, so you can get it on May 30th, which is 5 days away. What should people look for in Mojave Diamonds? How does it start? I don't want to know how it ends. I just want to know how it starts. What's the premise?
Well, the premise is like, that classic film where it shows like what people would do for family, Like, I don't want to give away too much, but,
No, sure.
His family gets in trouble, and you got to take care of business. This shows how far a man will go to save his family.
That is a wonderful thing, Quinton. I know you're out of time, but I'm going to someday call you up and ask you to record something for me from my telephone. And all I want you to say is, don't make me come over there. Quinton, thank you so much for your time today, sir. Great talking to you. Have a good day.
You too. You guys take care.
Quinton Rampage Jackson. There is a guy I can guarantee you has not liked his first few interviews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, when you started, I was like, this guy does not want to be here.
He does not want to be
all.
here.
Mm-hmm. Well, growing up in Memphis, I think you kind of that's sort of an instinct.
Yeah. Kind of have a wall up, you're saying?
To be fair, he's also been punched in the head like 10,000 times. So, yeah.
I think he'd prefer that to doing radio. Holy buckets.
How would you like to, your phone dings and you go, hey, hello, how you doing? Yeah, man, I heard you owe me money. How'd you like to hear that on your phone? That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Not ideal. Well, luckily, I know that I could get out of that call quickly because I would just ask him a question and he would be gone.
Exactly. Richard Pryor still had the best line of all time. You're lucky I'm a Christian man. I'd be down there kicking in your ass. One of the great. I thought Quinton was a great guy. See, when I first heard him, I went, uh-oh, somebody really pissed him off by being a smart ass this morning. I can tell.
Well, have you ever been to Memphis?
Oh, yeah. I've been to Memphis.
It's an angry city.
Oh, is it ever?
Yeah.
I'll give you an example of how angry that city is. I'm filling up the car because we're going down to, what is it? I think it's Interstate 11. I think it's just south of there. Or it leads to Interstate 11, I think is a better way to put it. But I literally am filling up the car, and this guy walks over and he goes, what are you doing here? And I said, what do you mean? He goes, you ain't supposed to be here.
Well, it's like the blackest city in America.
Oh, yeah, it definitely is. And there are parts of it that are great, and other parts you don't want to go mess with those people.
Sure.
By those people, I'm talking about the people who live there. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, they give you a look like, what the hell are you doing filling up your car? You taking our gas? Well, I am paying for it, but I thought Quinton ended up being a great guest. I thought at the beginning was going to be a bitch, man.
You got around to him, but man, that was a painful at the beginning. And like it's that kind of thing that when he doesn't even want to acknowledge or answer anything with more than one word. And then when he finally, at first, he was like, I'm not going to open my mouth fully to tell you anything. And you got to him where you guys finally started having actual conversations and you made him laugh.
He was great.
But at the beginning, I was like,
I know.
This guy.
Like, somebody really pissed him off.
I know. I was like, we're not forcing you to do this, sir.
Yeah, but can you imagine what a pain in the ass that is to come on and try to do something so everybody's being an a-hole about it?
Yeah, I know. I can imagine. I can imagine as I look at you both.
Oh, a-holes? You mean the three of them? What do you mean both? Who got left out?
Gelfand got left out.
Oh, Jesus, Palomino.
Hey,
here we go.
I'm a lover, not a fighter. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not a lover either.
There you go.
Just a man.
You know that every show from now on when I start, we're going to start the show, and Brittany's going to talk to me, and I'm going to go, what's the matter with you? That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to stop.
No.
You're away. No. No, forget it. I ain't doing that.
And I'll go, well, this feels like home.
I thought I was Tony Joe White there for a second. Some of y'all never been down south too much.
Folks,
I love that song. It is a magnificent song. But no, I was very, very happy. I thought those guests did a really great job. I love the fact that I've been in it long enough to recognize, yeah, this guy's already pissed off. Let's not piss him off anymore.
No, you don't make somebody whose name of Rampage or they're
Rampage.
They're promoting something called Rampage angry.
On the other hand, I mean, it's almost your brand.
Yeah.
Angry
yeah.
people.
No, you're right.
Because what do we
It
think
is.
about when we think about some of the great guests that you've had over the last
That's
40
true.
years?
That is very, very
It's
true.
the ones who were pissed off, the Shirley MacLaines.
God, was she pissed off. What Himalayan humor. Who did she say that to you?
She might have.
Such Himalayan
I think
humor.
she did. I'd said something, and then she accused me of being a Himalayan humorist.
She did. I remember that. Yeah, she was not friendly at all. Who was the biggest prick, though, of all time?
Well, it had to be, what's his name?
Rich Hall?
Well, Rich Hall, he was right up there, the guy pretending to read the newspaper.
Yeah,
so
he wouldn't talk to us at all.
He wouldn't talk to us, yeah.
Not on the radio. He's
And
doing a
it-
radio interview. He wouldn't talk to us.
Well, and there was that tense, 5 minutes when he was sitting in Studio B.
Yeah.
Before we got on the air.
Oh, I remember, yeah.
And then he sat down. The meeting, he put a screen up between himself and the rest of us by pretending to read the paper, but he was reading the want ads upside down.
Yeah, he was. No, you're right. They were upside down, too. You're
Yeah, it
absolutely
was.
right. We
Full
got to
package.
take a break here, and as we come back from just a couple of minute break, I want to throw this at you because I'm just going from the top left to right. There's a picture of me, then there's a picture of Brittany, there's a picture of Rudy. Bottom level, there's a picture of Judd, there's a picture of Mike Gelfand. Now, who are those 5 people? One says Tom, one says Brittany, one says Rudy, and one says Mike Gelfand. And then the final one says, the Twins won a game.
Yeah, baby.
Judd, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I still got to ask you guys a question, and it's all of Major League Baseball. I have never seen so many errors committed in my entire. Every game's got 3, 4, 5 errors. What is that?
3 in 1 inning the other day.
Yeah,
right?
and the other day.
Yeah. The Giants committed 3, and I think it was the third. That was a team that was very, very pleased to have won 2 games and said, you know what? It's a getaway day. We don't give a damn. See ya. Bye.
Yeah.
7-1 loss. But you know what, Tom? At least you should be happy.
I am happy because they won a
Your
game.
team finally won a bleeping game. And just a quick
Yep.
question. How can Rich Hall be a prick? He was never that funny.
No, he's never funny. He was not good at all. He was a raging prick. Gelfand will tell you. He was a very unpleasant
Oh,
man.
yeah. Well, so many comics, real comics. I don't even think he's a real comic.
No, I agree.
But because he built his fame on that Sniglets thing.
Oh, remember when he got the look he gave me? I said, do yourself a favor. Don't go into my neighborhood and use the name of your book because it ain't going to go well. Sniglet?
And he was famous
really?
for one thing, Sniglets, right?
Yeah, that was
so
it.
he comes
Yeah,
in and
yeah.
says, I ain't talking about Sniglets
Yeah,
today.
yeah. He didn't want to
Well,
talk
then
about
what are
Sniglet.
you going to talk about? You got nothing.
Yeah.
Why don't you call your dad Robert Hall? We'll talk to him about his shoes. I don't understand that whole idea. You're coming in to promote your own show and you're a prick? I don't understand
But
that.
that was the thing with comics. They'd come in and immediately start basically sending out signals to people. Whatever you do, don't come to see me tonight.
Oh, Daniel Tosh. Every time we had him in, he was a complete asshole.
I don't even remember him.
Did you ever work with him, Rudy?
No, we talked about him yesterday. I did see that
Yeah.
he has got dates coming up in September because I looked him up.
Oh, in
but
town
he's,
here?
He's in the States. I don't know if they're going to be in town, but it looked like eventually he'll end up making his way to the Midwest. So probably early next year.
And who's the guy whose parents were deaf?
Oh, you talk.
Todd Gass?
No, not
Todd Glass?
Todd Glass.
Yeah, that was it, right?
No.
I think. No.
No, he's talking
Craig
about
Gass.
Craig Gass.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's Craig Gass.
Craig. Yeah. Yeah. He and the weirdest thing happened ever. So I'm sitting in the office with Dave, our program director.
Hambledon.
There's a few of us in there, and this guy, he was I don't even, where is he from? I can't remember, but he's not a local guy.
No, he's out east. He's from out east.
Yeah, I believe now he lives in Phoenix.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds
think
right.
so.
But he grew up out east, correct?
Yeah, I
So,
think so.
so his name was mentioned, probably not in a positive way, because he had a habit of dominating everything he touched.
No, he does, but I really like the guy. I think he's a great guy.
Oh, I I don't know him.
No,
I never
know.
knew him.
No, I understand.
But, it's just the fact that he took over the Vegas show for 48 hours
Oh,
straight.
he did. That is true. I
It
remember
was like
that.
he was supposed to be there for 40 minutes, right?
That was
He
hilarious.
would not leave. And then it was like after the show got over, he'd say, well, what are we doing tonight, guys? Let's go bowling tonight.
He's a very nice guy.
So I was sitting in Dave's office, and somebody says, well, his parents are deaf.
Right.
And I said, I think they're only pretending to be.
No, that's his sister that's pretending to be.
And I look out the door. He's walking by.
Oh, God.
I mean, what are the odds?
That's not. How'd that work out?
He just pretended he was deaf.
He's a very, very pleasant guy, actually.
Well, I don't. Like I say, I have no idea.
What are you gonna do?
Tom, you're so handsome.
See, now who would love that guy? He tells the truth. Comes on the show. Judd, what do you think?
I think that Gelfand, I know this is going to shock you. I think it's my opinion that Gelfand, not a big people person.
What?
I think Gelfand, not a big people person. There's a difference between you are like, I am probably, you get annoyed. It doesn't make the person a bad guy,
Right.
But like if they don't shut up or something, we're probably on the same page about, would you just shut the bleep up? As opposed to a complete jerk. I'm just amazed that comedians who are trying to promote like their appearances and survive,
Right.
I would guess,
Right.
by that wouldn't be the nicest guys or gals. And that like I could see actors. But when you guys did the thing with Keanu Reeves and what his band was, a Dog Star, and
Dog Star, yeah.
Goof on him,
The Chucker.
the Chucker, that's one of the great, and he was great. He played along. He thought it was hilarious. He was so high, I'm sure he can't remember it, but
handled it better than anybody else.
Oh, one other guy.
Oh, really?
What's his name? The Wonder Years guy.
Yeah, he did it.
Oh,
really
that's
well.
right. Fred
Savage.
Savage. There you go. Fred
he's
Savage.
so young too. His voice is cracked. Hi, everybody.
He was the best ever.
You're right.
He loved the bit.
He did.
And he went along with it. Sometimes people they want to be real hip, and so they play along too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
And you don't want that. But Fred Savage played it just right, and he was like 14 at the time or something.
Yeah, he was. Tell you what, by coincidence, I talked to the Chucker yesterday.
Yeah.
I talked to him because there was that story released, and I don't even know who does this, but there was a story released that I fired John Lastman. So I'm talking to Lassie last night. He's like, "What is that?" I mean, it's where do they come up with this crap?
I didn't know you had that kind of power.
No, I didn't either.
Who did the story, Tom? Where was it?
It was on the internet.
Oh God.
It was one of those deals. A lot of truth on the internet, baby.
That's not really a story, Tom. That is
Well, I know, yeah. That's why we're laughing about it. Well, I fired everybody. Everybody's ever been fired from any job in America, I fired them. It's true.
Is the Chucker going to make a comeback? That's the question.
I am trying to talk him into maybe visiting us once in a while, but he lives in St. Cloud now, so it'd be kind of a bitch.
Yeah,
but
true.
I did. That Chucker bit was one of the most brilliant bits of all time. You're using all that Ryman Simon stuff. I can't follow along. I mean, that's a brilliant line. Ryman Simon stuff.
That stuff remains some of the best, just like bits I've heard.
No doubt about it, of all time. And he did those all himself.
Did he really?
He did. He wrote. He just.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it was all ad lib or he wrote some of it, or I don't know how he did it.
Well, I don't want to give away any secrets, but there was some editing involved.
You mean of other people's material?
No, it's you can hear it, the editing, but it's still good.
Well, Judd and I respect that because we know the toughest part about writing a story is the editing, right?
Yeah,
is
sure.
our editing it.
Oh yeah. Well, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. You have to put things together at the end, but still, the thing about the Chucker that I always loved was that took balls.
No, you're right.
Like what he was doing, I don't care if it's on the phone or not. When you have a book time with a quote unquote celebrity and you pull that and make it work a lot, that takes a lot of cojones.
I couldn't agree more.
Well, yeah, but what would take really more balls would be if you're interviewing let's say a Saudi high official.
Then you get murdered?
Yeah, well, yeah.
That would not be good.
That's when they love you to pieces.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
We have to take a quick break. Be right back. More with Judd Zulgad and Mike Gelfand in studio.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show.
Hi, this is Tom Barnard. If you've been listening, you know I'm a fan of Nissan vehicles. I own an Altima. My son and daughter-in-law both own Nissans, and we bought them all at Walser Nissan stores here in the Metro. They hang their hats in Burnsville, Wayzata, and Coon Rapids. So why is Walser different than other Nissan stores? And why should you absolutely go there this month? Tell them I personally sent you to lease or buy your next vehicle. First, there's Walser Care, a complimentary powertrain warranty that will keep you covered for miles to come for free at Walser Nissan. This month, you can score 0% financing for up to 60 months on select Nissans, or you can lease the 2023 Nissan Pathfinder S for only $269 a month. You'll need to tell them you want the Tommy B deal, of course. That's understood. So, not just Nissan, but Walser Nissan, Burnsville, Wayzata, and Coon Rapids. Don't forget to let them know the Tom Barnard family sent you and ask for the Tommy B deal. Go to walser.com and select the Walser Nissan store nearest you.
$269 per month for 24 months, 10,000 miles per year, 5,900 due at signing, VIN PC 261725.
This is Bob Sansevier, and I want to tell you about Dave Bialke from Bialke Law. Dave represented my wife, Mary, when she had a significant workplace injury. She was very happy with the job Dave did. If you have a work-related injury and have Dave represent you, I'm betting you'll be happy too. Dave is a down-to-earth guy. He grew up in northern Minnesota, rides a Harley, and worked various jobs doing concrete, electrical, plumbing, roofing, and carpentry work. Dave works for people with work-related injuries. If you work construction, or anywhere for that matter, and you're hurt or even just hurting, you should talk to Dave. Let's face it, our bodies wear out. If your body is worn out from work, if your knees or back or shoulders hurt from things you do at work, do what Mary did. Call Dave and talk to him about it at Bialke Law to set up a free initial consultation. The number to call is 763-571-2410. That's 763-571-2410. Or visit bialkelaw.com. That's BIALKE law.com.
There's plenty of thoughts that come into your head when you think the name Killebrew. Of course, there's the Minnesota baseball legend, Harmon, who was responsible for many a favorite memory at the old Met Stadium in Bloomington, and many a baseball that ended up in the stands and in the gloves of adoring fans from his home runs. There's Killebrew Drive, the legendary road that connects Highway 77 to the Mall of America, and a day of shopping you'll never forget. My current thoughts for the name Killebrew is fun floats in our kitchen with my kids and grandkids, a cool, refreshing break in between innings at Target or CHS Field. Or maybe a perfect sunset paired with a sweet, frothy beverage after fishing or on your favorite walleye lake. Killebrew root beer and cream soda. Grab a six-pack at a grocery or convenience store near you. I'm Tom Barnard. This spring and summer, enjoy the one Killebrew root beer and cream soda. Gluten and caffeine-free with a generous portion of delicious thrown in. Killebrew, where memories are created and legends are made.
When it comes to weight loss, there's quick fixes and then there's long-term solutions. Where does Livia follow, Judd?
It falls definitely, Britt, in the long-term solution category, because here's what they're going to help you do. They're going to help you like they did with me, lose weight. I've lost 40 pounds almost 2 years ago now. But the most important thing is they're going to help you keep that weight off. And that's the thing. We've all gone on diets. We've all gone up and down. So if you want a program that's going to work long-term and keep that weight off, keep those skinny clothes on you, this is the program. In fact, you know what? Lose up to 15 pounds by the 4th of July. Join today and you're going to get 3 months free. That's right. So you are going to get 3 months free. Go into summer looking great and feeling great. 855-GO-LIVEA, Livia.com, LIVEA.com. Check them out, lose the weight, and keep it off.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Little news, little information. Do have to mention this because I adored this woman. Only met her a couple of times, and that was a long time ago. Tina Turner has died at 83 years old, unfortunately. What a talent and what a sweetheart of a human being. She was a very, very nice person. I don't think I would have wanted to fight her, though. Do you ever see her legs?
Oh, my God, they're crazy.
She could throw a punch, man. With those legs, I'm telling you.
She had to be able to, considering who she was married to.
That's true. Ike was not very friendly guy.
Ike could throw a punch, too.
Oh, God.
What was Ike's most famous line?
Oh, yeah. What was that again?
Well, all I remember is he was asked about whether he had punched her or beaten her or something.
Yeah, right.
And you don't remember the line?
No.
Because you can do it much better than I could. But what he said was, and it's not funny in today's context at all.
No.
But it was, well, I mean, it only made you, like, respect. Well, I wouldn't say respect her, but sympathize with her more.
Mm-hmm.
And he said something like, I don't hit her any more than no normal man.
Yeah, that's right. I don't hit her any more than any normal man.
He said, yeah, I don't hit her, but I didn't hit her more than the average guy beats his wife.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I wouldn't even know what the average would be.
Yeah,
would you?
I'd say none, but I don't know.
I can prove that I've never hit Catherine.
Because you're still alive?
That's exactly the answer.
Because you weren't
right
hit with
there.
the frying pan while you were sleeping.
I'm still alive, baby.
Wouldn't end well for you.
No, it would not have ended well for me.
But she had the most. Her pipes were just incredible.
Oh, God, what a talent. Just busted her ass, worked her ass off, no doubt about it. Tina Turner died yesterday at her home in Switzerland after what her reps called a long illness. She was 83 years old. Just a few months before her death, Tina had said that she was in great danger due to kidney disease. Tina rose to fame in the 1960s as part of Ike and Tina Turner Review with her husband, Ike Turner. After his, I like the fact she was married to Ike Turner, and now she lives in Switzerland.
As far away as possible.
I get as far away from that prick as I can.
And how does Ike get the first billing on that?
I know, Ike and Tina. It's like, what did you do?
Ike, it could have been anybody.
Sonny and Cher, Stretch.
Yeah,
Sonny and Cher. That's all I got to say.
That's true. That's exactly right. And it's always Catherine and Tom, so I'm screwed. Catherine and Tom. After escaping Ike's abuse in 1976, she did what she had to do to survive before her solo career took off with her 1984 album Private Dancer, featuring the hits What's Love Got to Do With It and Better Be Good to Me, the title track. Also, of course, the following year, she played Auntie Entity in Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, featuring her hit song We Don't Need Another Hero. Oh, God, what a great song. Tina sold 200 million albums and won 8 Grammys. At 56, she was hired as the face of the $20 million campaign for Hanes pantyhose because those legs.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I
what
know.
it says. She had some legs on her, man.
Yeah.
I'm very, very sad about that. I loved Tina Turner. Like I said, I only met her a couple of times, and it was a million years ago, but what a talent. And to put up with the crap that she put up with. Can you even imagine that?
No.
Did you guys ever watch Schitt's Creek?
Oh, I loved Schitt's Creek.
There's an episode where Noah is he's one of the characters on the show, plays a song for his boyfriend David, and he plays Tina Turner's Simply the Best on an acoustic guitar, and it is, man. So one of the only songs I listen to.
Yeah.
If you see me listening to that song in my car, something terrible has gone on in my life. I am out there just bawling my eyes out.
Yeah.
There's a version of that song that just cuts me to the core.
So I want to know, I mean, honest to God, you look at that. Yeah, you're right. That is fantastic. I don't know. It just upsets me that well, she was 83 though. That's a pretty good run. It's up in an average run now, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't want to think about that.
I don't either, but that's just the way.
That's a pretty good life right there, though.
Yeah.
Oh, Tina's.
Well, that and I think if you get 83ish or so, it's a little bit difficult to say, cut short.
Well, this may be going too far, but the clock I have in my bedroom does go backwards.
Well, good.
Yeah, it's not really a clock; it's just counting down.
Are you like 20?
Oh, nice.
Oh, I thought you were like 27 years old now. Going
He's
back
Benjamin
in time.
Buttoning.
What are you on a doomsday cycle there?
Well, I wasn't when I came in, but
Why are you now?
Well, but just this, I mean, I'm a long ways from 83, but still, I can see it in the distance.
In the distance, the far distance.
Yeah.
And how old is your father when he died?
He was 92.
That's what I thought. And your mother?
She was about 73.
She was only 73.
Yeah, but I mean, she had lupus. She was clinically depressed all her life.
Was that after you were born? Thank you very much. Great to be here.
Well, no, that's what she said to me.
Did she really?
No,
I do remember that.
Yeah, she was on her deathbed, and morphine was coursing through her veins. And I said, Mom, when did this terrible depression you've suffered from all your life, when did it start? And she said, well, I never got over the terrible depression that came over me after you were born.
Hold on a second. She really said that?
Yeah, she said that, yeah.
I love that.
I laughed. I mean, a lot of people go, but I thought it was funny. The thing was, it wasn't true.
But
So-
was she trying to be funny?
No,
I
no,
didn't think so.
Not with that. Well, that was a lot of morphine that she'd been under. No, this
Don't
was a dying woman.
break
This
into
was-
a comedy routine after being pumped with morphine.
Well, I mean, that's why I always say that, the first words I spoke were right after I was born. I looked up and saw her and I said, "Not you again."
Not you again. Oh, damn it.
It was never a great relationship.
Nah, that is unfortunate. Like my dad, your mom.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Well,
Rudy, he's very close to his father.
Yeah. Obviously.
Brittany,
Yeah.
really tight with her father.
Yeah,
you
but
know.
these things do happen, don't they?
Isn't it amazing? Have you ever met anybody in radio that got along with both their parents? I don't think I
Just
ever
like
did.
a well-functioning, normal
yes,
human
exactly.
that doesn't want attention all the time.
Nope.
Not
no
even
chance.
Charlie Boone.
Maybe Charlie. Maybe back in the day.
That's an old
Roger
reference.
Erickson.
Roger. Yeah, Hobbs.
Yeah, Franklin Hobbs.
Hobbs.
Franklin got along with his folks great, I hear.
Yeah.
Probably true. That was what, 1887?
Mm-hmm.
That what that was? Hey, gang, how about Steve Cannon, gang?
Cannon got along with his parents
He
pretty
did.
well.
Yeah, he did, didn't
Yeah.
he?
He was very
But
close to his
Backlash
mother.
didn't. Backlash LaRue did not get along with his folks at all, I've heard.
Isn't that sad that Cannon died like 2 years after he retired? It wasn't very long. I don't know if it was 2 years, but it was not long after he retired that he didn't live much longer.
No, it must have been about 7 years ago, wasn't it?
Well, it's got to be about right.
Yeah, I think
I
so.
would think that's about. Maybe I should look it up. 7 years, because I do that once in a while. God, wasn't that like 5-6 years ago? No, Tom, it was 22 years ago
Right.
actually. But don't worry about that. In any case, so I did watch the Twins game yesterday. I do not understand 5 errors in one game, 3 by them and 2 by us. Is that how it went?
I think that's correct, yes. And like Mike said, the 3 by the Giants came in the same inning.
Yeah,
You're not wrong about, I think you're correct. Fielding, for the most part, has been atrocious.
It's terrible, and I'm talking about across the board.
Right.
I have a question for you guys, and maybe you can answer this because I was never an outfielder, and I suppose they do it in the infield too, though. What is this deal now where they put the glove to the left of their head if they're a right-handed player, and wait for the ball to get into their glove? I mean, it literally instead of they used
know
to
what
do
you're
this,
talking
they put it in front of their face. Remember those days?
Yeah.
Well, now they
Yeah.
put their hand over here. And they catch the ball, but not as often as they would have when the glove was centered.
Yeah.
Why did they do that now? Is that to look cool?
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, it
I think you're
probably
exactly
is,
right.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But I have to say though, I love the clocks now that they put on the players.
Oh yeah, it's a good move.
I mean, all the histrionics that we saw from hitters all the time.
Yes.
And now they
yeah.
can basically only do the sign of the cross once.
Only one sign of the cross. How are they going to get by, Mike?
I don't know how they. No, it's terrible because you get 2 strikes. If you get 2 strikes on you as a batter, you hold up your hand. You tell the umpire you want to take your one break, and the one break lasts for 15 seconds maybe as the most, right?
I think that's right. Yeah.
So it's just enough time to do the cross a couple of times.
We got to do the cross. sign
Yeah.
of the cross.
We have an email from a listener, Aaron, who said, "Can you ask Judd or Mike why the ump's strike zone is wildly large this season?"
It's terrible.
Because they are, for the most part, guessing, and because we now have, like it or not, we have what the strike zone is supposed to be on the screen constantly.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is what, it's not like the umpires in the 70s were better. We just didn't have the strike zone literally drawn on the screen for us.
Yes.
Yeah. And,
So
right.
it looked worse.
And given the fact that the fastballs are now about 98 miles an hour, although what's the name of the guy, the relief pitcher, Duran, is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
so he hit 105
right?
the other day.
Mm-hmm.
So you got guys throwing a 105 mile an hour fastball.
Amazing.
You got guys throwing the sweeper slider,
Yeah.
which basically bends about 10 feet from when it's
does.
released.
It does.
I would have to say, and I hate to say this because I hate authority.
No.
Yeah, I know. I've decided to just come out with that. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I hate authority, but I think the umpires actually do a pretty good job for the most part. But it's the best they can do, and it's not good enough. which is why we're going to see the robo-ump within the next 2-3 years.
Well, yeah, because they're missing pitches by about a foot.
Well, the worst of them, yeah. I think, generally speaking, what happens is the typical umpire does pretty well for about 4 innings.
Yeah, I could see that.
And then after they've watched about 100 pitches, then there's a little bit of regression, which I think is normal. That's why what they ought to do is just have the umpires, the first guy should umpire for 4.5 innings. And then
get in and rotate.
Move another guy in.
Yeah. Not a bad idea.
No, here's what you do. You pay the guys who are good at balls and strikes more and have them exclusively behind home plate. With this whole thing of rotating in guys that suck at their jobs is ridiculous. Like you don't go to the back of a plane and get someone who's serving Diet Pepsis to fly the plane, as a part of a rotation.
But you're right, because that's the way it used to be done.
Makes no sense.
It used to be that the guys who were best at calling balls and strikes did it like every game. A lot of people don't know that because you wouldn't see it today. But that used to be the way they did it.
Exactly. Hey, Tom, I got to run.
I know. I hate that.
Sorry about that.
Tell them to cancel the show from now on. All right, we'll talk to you next week.
Talk to you. Bye.
Thanks, Bill. Judd Zulgad, ladies and gentlemen, Skor North. So yeah, I don't know. I love watching the Twins, but boy, it's been a rocky year.
Well, the problem is that you see a lot of errors.
Lots of errors,
and you see a lot of just not very good plays.
I agree.
You see guys behind the plate who, at best, sometimes stop the ball. I'm talking about the catchers.
Yeah,
and it's harder to stop him these days. But I mean, you look at the Twins, the guy they traded for, Vasquez. I mean, he can't catch anything.
66.5 feet, and that ball's coming at you 105 miles an hour.
Yeah, it'd be a little tough.
Whoa, that's got to be a bitch.
No, it's tough. And you got a typical baseball game. You're going to have like 18 strikeouts is about normal.
Yeah, it is now.
In a game.
Yeah.
So you're not. I mean, this game is doing a lot better than it should do, given things like that.
I agree with
you.
you.
They sped the game up, so that's a huge thing, and that's a great start. But we've talked about it before. That's why they got to move the plate back, because the ball has to be put in play.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be, it was a great pitcher's game. It was a fun game to watch. It's not fun anymore.
I agree. It's not as much fun as it used to be. They got to do something about this. Watching people, showboat catching and lots of errors committed, and it's just Jesus. I'd like to get back to the old kind of baseball where you get your ass chewed out every time you make a mistake. I love that.
Yeah, benched,
exactly.
Well, no, I mean, the thing is, I understand that players want to exhibit a little flair, right?
Yeah,
that's okay,
exactly
and that's
right.
fine. I mean, they should. They're great athletes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're as great as basketball players, but they're great. They're not required to do as many things, say, as basketball players do.
Mm-hmm.
But they're still great athletes, and they should be able to have a little flair. But the problem is that it gets to the point where they do things. Well, the best example is because it happens all the time. A guy hits a long fly ball. It could be a home run.
Mm-hmm.
What do? They stand at the plate.
Yeah.
And
watch it.
And then when the ball bounces off the wall in center field, all of a sudden they got to rush to maybe get a double, and a lot of times they turn a triple into a single.
Hey, it's exactly right.
Yeah, and a guy would have been fined in the old days.
Yep.
And when I say the old days, I'm not talking about like 1920. I'm talking about 1980.
1919 when they fixed the World Series. What about that?
Those were the days.
Those were the days, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I got to run this by you guys. These are the worst films of all time, according to Rotten Tomatoes. Do you have, the three of you, a movie that you thought was the worst movie you've ever seen? Because I was just trying to think of one.
Well, I mean, do you count movies that are so bad that they're great?
Well, that's interesting.
I think you have to.
Yeah, probably.
Because otherwise, they don't stand out at all. You don't remember.
Is there one for Brittany? Is there one movie you went, oh my God, this is the worst movie I've ever seen?
There was a movie I walked out on, and I can't remember the name of it, but it was like the premise was it was a home shopping network show, and that a guy was claiming to be Jesus in it, and I think it had big
God.
names in it. It was the only time I ever walked out of a movie. I'm gonna figure out the name.
Oh, yeah, I want to see that one.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't remember the name of the movie?
No,
though?
I can't. I was trying to Google it, but of course, it's a crazy thing I just put in the search.
Now there you go. Rudy, what do you got?
Yeah, I think we have to go with movies that were bigger names, but they were big flops. Because there's obviously some there's movies out there like Tommy Wiseau's The Room.
Right. You can't include that one. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Now, is that different from Room?
Yes, different from Room.
Because Room was a pretty good movie.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Yep.
Academy Award winner, I believe it was too. That's how good it was. But for bad movies, I would say Brad Pitt in Benjamin Button. That movie.
I've never seen that.
It is 4 hours.
80 years.
It is so long. I can't
really?
do it. It's awful.
So funny.
It's so bad.
It's so good.
Mike, what do you got?
Well, I can narrow it down to two.
Oh, two. Okay.
Two, yeah. One is Cocktail.
Never saw that. Oh, is that the one with
Brad
Tom?
Pitt. Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise,
Yeah.
the bartender or something?
Yeah, some
Never saw
very
that.
funny scenes in there.
Never saw it.
And the other one would be The Oscar.
Never saw that either. Who's in that?
Everybody's in it.
Oh, are they?
Everybody's doing. There are all sorts of cameos in
And
that
it's terrible.
one. And it's worse than worse. It's like you got to come up with a new word for it. It's so bad that it's hilarious.
Really?
And the acting is hideous because it's one of the things that they used to bill the movie was, and it's Tony Bennett's film debut.
Oh, really?
It was, and it was also Tony Bennett's film Goodbye.
Oh, I love Tony Bennett.
That
He was
ended
wonderful.
That ended his film career.
I found my movie. It's let me just give you the description. It's called Holy Man. Eddie Murphy stars as an over-the-top television evangelist who finds a way to turn television home shopping into a religious experience and takes America by storm.
Sounds terrible.
Holy Man.
You know that some guy got a meeting with the studio executive and wrote all of that on a napkin.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You
No,
can
you're
see it
probably
being
right.
done.
Jeff Goldblum was in it. I mean, there were some big names in it. It
I like
just
him.
sucked. I think I wasn't that old. It was in theaters, and I walked out of it going, "Yeah, I'm not doing this."
Right.
The Oscar is so bad that for years you could only get it. You couldn't watch it. You couldn't stream it.
No.
No way. You had to buy the DVD. But it was so bad that they finally just went ahead and they made it available for streaming because there was such a demand for it. It's a cult movie.
Yeah. I would have to go with a very recent movie. What the hell is it? Oh,
You didn't like
Evil Dead Rise. Yeah.
What
What
is
a
it?
horrible movie. Evil Dead Rise.
Oh, I never heard of it.
Okay, it just came out. Did okay, I think, in the box office. I think it did okay. Mike, it's an hour and a half of people getting stabbed in the face with swords.
All right.
I mean, it's just the most violently disgusting movie
God,
I've
I
ever seen.
don't think I could handle that.
No, you couldn't watch it. It's terrible. The acting in it's terrible, and it's just incredibly violent. You want to throw a little violence in there, good for you. But, it was way too much for me. All right, so we'll go with these are the worst films of all time. There are 10 of them, I do believe. That's all we're going to go with anyway. The top 10. I never saw this, Jaws the Revenge. You guys ever see that movie?
Was that with Michael Caine?
It says Ellen Brody. Doesn't say anything about Michael Caine.
'cause-
Steven Spielberg did it, of course.
Really? Because there was one Jaws with Michael Caine where he plays like a helicopter pilot, and it is awful.
I'm trying to look and see. Roger Ebert commented, it's not simply a bad movie, but also a stupid and incompetent one.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good review for you. Okay, next up, Mac and Me.
Oh, I remember Mac and Me.
I
It
don't
was
remember
pretty much
that.
a commercial for Disney the whole I mean, not Disney, McDonald's.
Sure.
Oh, really?
The whole time, yes.
So the whole thing was about product placement.
Yes.
Oh, sure.
And there's like a hilarious. So the main character, Kiddo, he's in a wheelchair, and they did this scene where he falls down like this insane hill, but like keeps falling, and they make it unbelievably long.
Oh, God.
And to this day, Paul Rudd goes on Conan O'Brien, and he always acts like he's going to show some premiere.
Oh, yeah.
And he always ends up showing that clip.
That's funny.
Every
That is
single
funny.
time, and Conan falls for it. Every single time.
We'll do one more. Got to take a break, and we'll come back and finish the list. Bolero tried to be progressive and failed. I didn't remember Bolero. Do you remember that?
I don't know.
I remember the movie, yeah.
Oh, do you?
I don't think I saw it.
1984, Bolero features a newly popular Bo Derek and was written and directed by her then husband,
yes.
John Derek.
Yeah.
After 23-year-old Air Mac McGilvary graduates from high-end British college, he sets off to find the right man for her first intimate. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, God.
This was a Derek exploitation movie.
Derek exploitation. There you go. Should she be having big old giants?
She was considered, I think, total package type. And it was all about the slow motion run on the beach.
Oh yeah, right, absolutely. Okay, we'll take a break, come right back, and we'll wrap up the show with the rest of this list, the worst movies of all time. So far, they've done a good job because these movies are terrible, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll be right back in just a couple of minutes and finish up the list.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Listen live on the Tom Barnard Show app or at tombernardshow.com.
As you know, my friend Mike Lindell has a passion to help everyone get the best sleep of your life. He didn't stop by simply creating the best pillow. Mike created the Giza Dream bed sheets. They look and feel great, which means an even better night's sleep for me, which is crucial for my busy schedule. Mike found the world's best cotton. It's called Giza. It's ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable. Mike's Giza sheets come with a 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. Giza Dream Sheets come in a variety of sizes and colors. Mike's latest incredible deal is the sale of the year. For a limited time, you'll receive 50% off the Giza Dream Sheets. You'll receive a set for as low as $29.98. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio podcast square, and use promo code TOM. There you'll find not only this amazing offer, but also deep discounts on all MyPillow products, including the MyPillow 2.0 mattress topper, MyPillow towel sheets, and so much more. Call 800-516-5146. Use promo code TOM. Or go to MyPillow.com. Make sure you use the promo code TOM. Hi, this is Tom Barnard. If you've been listening, you know I'm a fan of Nissan vehicles. I own an Altima. My son and daughter-in-law both own Nissans, and we bought them all at Walser Nissan stores here in the Metro. They hang their hats in Burnsville, Wayzata, and Coon Rapids. So why is Walser different than other Nissan stores? And why should you absolutely go there this month? Tell them I personally sent you to lease or buy your next vehicle. First, there's Walser Care, a complimentary powertrain warranty that will keep you covered for miles to come for free at Walser Nissan. This month, you can score 0% financing for up to 60 months on select Nissans, or you can lease the 2023 Nissan Pathfinder S for only $269 a month. You'll need to tell them you want the Tommy B deal, of course. That's understood. So, not just Nissan, but Walser Nissan, Burnsville, Wayzata, and Coon Rapids. Don't forget to let them know the Tom Barnard family sent you and ask for the Tommy B deal. Go to walser.com and select the Walser Nissan store nearest you.
$269 per month for 24 months, 10,000 miles per year, $5,900 due at signing, VIN PC 261725.
You know, I've always said you can't count on 2 nice weekends in a row until mid-June in Minnesota. Well, once again, I'm right. What better time to lose weight like I'm doing with mnfatloss.com. The program has been great for me. I've lost 20 pounds, and I've been on the program for exactly 1 month today. I'm not feeling hungry. I am feeling a lot healthier, and I've got plenty of energy. You know me. I'm not going to count points or eat prepackaged meals. Certainly no hypnosis is going to happen. I wouldn't follow a fat loss program that isn't safe. I got to be around to do this podcast because my name's on the show. You know what I'm saying? I'm proving that you can lose 20 to 30 pounds in just a couple of months. Do yourself a favor and check out the program at mnfatloss.com. Of course, results may vary, but I'm losing weight, and I do feel great. If you want to find out the secret to losing 20 to 30 pounds in just 8 weeks, like I'm doing, that's about a pound of fat every day, by the way. No exercise required. Schedule your free consultation. Go to mnfatloss.com. That's mnfatloss.com. Be sure to tell them that Tom Barnard sent you. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, running down the worst films of all time, the top 10 worst films of all time, according to Rotten Tomatoes, and they do review movies. That's what they do, so...
Yeah, and I think they include actual critics, and then anybody can also have their own Rotten...
To get a vote?
Yeah, so I think it's kind of like the Wikipedia of reviews.
Okay, so we got Jaws the Revenge, we got Mac and Me, we got Bolero, and now we've moved on to Return to the Blue Lagoon.
Oh.
That movie didn't really cry for a sequel, did it?
No, it really did not. It says it was as uncomfortable as it sounds. I don't know what that means.
I never saw Blue Lagoon. What was the premise on that?
I never saw it, but I do take comfort in knowing that you couldn't do it today.
That is actually.
Yeah, that's probably true, isn't it?
Very true.
It is. Madhouse. I don't remember Kirstie Alley and John LaRoquette.
I loved that movie growing up.
Really? Was it good?
I tried to watch it when I was an adult, and it does not hold up. It
different
sucked. Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad. John LaRoquette and Kirstie Alley were good.
That you would think two powerhouses like that, but
Yeah.
I think that was right in the middle of Kirstie Alley definitely going through her drug phase.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
maybe Larroquette was as well, but I do remember the end of it. They drive a tank through the house and completely destroy it. And I just remember rewinding it over and
What?
over again, laughing hysterically.
Oh, God.
And sucks.
Kirstie Alley was, I believe, the word used to describe her most often was difficult.
Oh, yeah, right. That's what I had heard that too. Dream a Little Dream Turned into a Nightmare, released in 1989, starring Corey Feldman and Corey Haim. Dream a Little Dream follows an elderly couple who end up in the bodies of two high schools. Oh, that sounds terrible.
Well, one of those things.
Yeah, possessed by an elderly
I've always
person.
hated that premise.
Yeah,
I
me
don't
too.
like it either. The body switching. Yeah.
It's a joke. The Slugger's Wife. I've never even heard of that.
The Slugger's
The
Wife.
Slugger's Wife stars Michael O'Keefe and risky business actress Rebecca De Mornay. 1985 film tells the story of a baseball player who falls in love with a singer. That sounds great.
That's great. Yeah.
That sounds really great.
Boy,
Doesn't it? Sounds
how can you go
fantastic.
wrong with that premise?
Which one of them is the slugger? I don't even know.
Oh, and they said the sequel to Saturday Night Fever, Staying Alive, was horrendous, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think the fact that none of us had ever heard that it had a sequel is probably a good sign.
Yeah, I've never seen that movie. I have no idea. So far, I've gotten lucky because I haven't seen any of these movies. I'm very fortunate. Here's one. Maybe just the number should tell you something. Police Academy 4.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy.
Hi-yo.
What was that guy's name again?
I don't know, but they built the whole movie around that. They started the second and third. He was the 90% of the movie.
He was, yeah.
Michael Winslow.
Michael Winslow, that's
Yeah,
exactly
of
who
course,
that
everybody
is.
knows. He does stand up, right?
Yeah.
He was good at that, though, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. The sound effects were,
They were
amazing. Yeah, a little cameo in Spaceballs, too.
Yeah, there you go.
I got the blips.
Police Academy 4, Citizens on Patrol was the beginning of the end for the franchise. Precious Cargo wasn't Willis's brightest hour. I don't remember Precious Cargo.
Mm-mm.
Anyone? Did you hear what Bruce Willis starred in it, right? Did you hear what happened to him? That was so sad.
That is.
He was on set filming a movie, and he's sitting at a cafe, and they bring him over a cup of coffee, and he goes, I didn't order that. He didn't realize he was shooting a movie.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's so
Ouch.
sad.
Oh,
It's
ouch, man.
who's watching over you at that point?
Yeah, don't you have to have a guardian standing by? And apparently now he can't act at all anymore.
Yeah, so when you get to that point, Catherine's going to be like, yeah, Tom.
Tomorrow, you mean?
He's going to keep poking you, going, you're on air, and you're going to be like,
Friday.
He has how old is he?
Bruce Willis?
Yeah.
Let me see if they mention it. I don't, no, they don't mention it in here.
Friday. I can look it up.
He's got to be 70, I suppose. That's about it.
I think he has a form of dementia that just comes on really suddenly.
You mean like booze?
It was like frontal lobe dementia.
Yeah, see, so that thing just tears right through you.
Oh, yeah.
It's not one of those, it's not like Alzheimer's where you might have it for 10 years.
He is 68 years old.
He's only 68?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose that's close enough to 70. I liked him in the beginning. I thought he was good on that. What was the name of the TV show he did?
Moonlighting.
Moonlighting, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he was good on that.
Yeah.
No doubt. Not a pleasant man. I've talked to him a couple times. He's
Yeah.
not a pleasant guy to talk to. But I suppose he has his friends, so that's good. The comedian got to be really good friends with him. Who the hell am I thinking of? And then all of a sudden, Bruce just stopped calling him. They were really good friends.
The only story I know about him and a comedian is Tracy Morgan.
Oh, okay, yeah, it wasn't Tracy.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was. I'll think of it. Highlander 2, The Quickening.
Oh.
I've never even heard of these movies.
We got a lot of sequels here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first Highlander was awesome.
Was it?
Yeah, really good.
No, wait a minute. I don't know how this could possibly be true. Pinocchio.
What?
Pinocchio is downright scary.
Oh, that's a lie.
Oh, is that not the Tarantino?
I think they're talking about the original one, aren't they?
They're talking about 1997 Roberto Benigni.
Yes. That's the one I was starting
It
to
was
think
really
of. The
that
guys.
bad.
Yeah.
Oh, this looks horrendous just from the still picture.
Looks scary.
Where the hell did he get that outfit?
I don't know. It looks so spooky. They did a whole thing on like it being very scary.
Let me put it this way. I'm looking at this picture right now, and I'm going to call him and go, hey, your mom wants her outfit back.
Hey-o.
What a weird-ass outfit. The Bad News Bears goes to Japan. Boy, that even sounds great.
I'd watch that.
I love those multiple premise movies.
Yeah, oh, yeah. That's what you need.
That
more
was a big thing for a while.
I've never heard of any of these movies. Dark Tide with Halle Berry?
I've never heard of that.
I've even heard of it.
It's Halle Berry. I'm seeing it.
I know. Rather attractive young woman.
Yeah.
Maybe not so young anymore. The Ridiculous Six turned out to be controversial.
That's with Adam Sandler.
Yeah, Adam Sandler's in it. Yep.
And it's actually super funny, but it's also, you have to just know it's ridiculous.
So it's just terrible.
No, that's his brand.
It was not bad. Like,
It
we
is.
laughed quite a bit. Our niece, Cassidy, made us watch it about 2 months ago when she was in town, and we were laughing pretty hard.
Ooh, I think this next one might be a problem. I think Nick Swardson was in it, but I'm not sure.
I think he was as well. Gosh, I'm trying to remember. Taylor Lautner was in it, which was pretty wild.
that right?
Yeah.
And I think Nick was in this next one, too. Bucky Larson, Born to be a Star.
Yes.
He was in that, wasn't he?
I think he starred in it, didn't he?
I think he... Oh, there's his picture. I'm looking at it right now.
It's pretty bad.
He's got the buck teeth and the horrible haircut. And so, Nick, that's too bad. Two of your movies got picked to be the worst, 2 of the 10 worst movies of all time. Fred, the movie. I don't remember Fred.
Oh, yeah. Fred was like the first YouTube sensation.
Oh, it was.
And
okay.
they made a movie out of him. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It doesn't. I don't even know who. They're showing the guy who stars in it. I have no idea who the hell that is.
Yeah, he's like a young blonde-haired kid. Is that the
Lucas Cruikshank?
Yeah, because he's the guy who like played Fred on YouTube.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We only got a couple to go. Gotti missed the mark for a mobster film. Well, that was,
People did not like that. Was that Randall who made that one?
Travolta was in it.
Travolta was terrible, I heard.
But who made? I think that's that Randall scandal. I think that they're talking about that he
Oh, is
made
it?
that and he did not do well.
I do not know.
Yeah, Randall Emmett was one of the
Randall Emmett.
producers.
There you go. Homecoming gets 0%. Never heard of that either. Exorcist 2, The Heretic. Oh, is that the one with your boy from New York? What the hell's his name? Great actor. I can see his face, but I can't think of his name.
So, I would go see a movie if the title was simply The Heretic.
Just The Heretic,
Yeah,
yes.
that's fine.
Forget the Exorcist 2 part.
Or The Tick. That was
Just
a good
The
movie.
Tick.
The Tick?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go see The Garbage Pail Kids.
Hands down the worst. Listen, I was a huge Garbage Pail Kid fan.
Oh, you were? I didn't even know what that is.
I could so
Yeah.
see that you being a huge Garbage Pail Kid.
I still have a card hanging on my fridge right now for a character named Rudy Tootie.
Oh, did he fart?
And
Did
but
it
no, that
fart.
movie was awful. But the trailer is still out there. But it's so bad you can't find it on any sort of you can't get it on Amazon. You can't download it. It's not on YouTube. It is that bad.
All right, we're way past the due dates here, so we can continue this some other time. How about that?
Sounds great.
All right, that's going to do it. Talk to you tomorrow.